What's poppin', people? It's your boy Loco Lou, and welcome to another episode of Cigars and Ash. And today it's Keith and Joey on the panel.
He's finally here.
We are all here together.
We were talking about you last time, and so did you put that baby in there?
Yeah, did you put the bread in the oven? Did you put the bread in the oven?
Did I plant the seed?
Did you make her a mama?
Did you fertilize the soil?
Yeah, I planted the garden.
And then he pulled the weed.
That's right.
Okay, he having no kids.
Again.
So today's cigar is a nub double roast.
Yes, a nub double roast. This is
actually nice. I had before and I enjoy better than the triple roast. And it's large, it's the 5-inch.
Yeah,
that's what she said.
Hey yo,
she likes the 5-inch.
So yeah, these are great. These are the nub nuance, the chocolate or coffee flavored. We were going with the triple roast before, but they only came in 3 and 4-inch, and they discontinued the 6-inch length. So a 6-inch length is about an hour and a half smoke. So this is pretty good, depending on what you're doing for the afternoon, or you got a break from work. Usually the 4-inch ones are good, but that's not a quick smoke. This is a good laid back smoke.
It's a good cigar smoke. I mean, dessert smoke.
Yeah. Dessert
so it's
smoke?
like after dinner.
After dinner smoke.
You can actually have that coffee flavor and have it with something that
complements it. Like maybe an espresso. Like a little shot of espresso
with some Kahlua in it.
Yeah. Hey, if you want to have a Kahlua shots, shoot. If you have Kahlua shots, we could do that right now.
Oh, I wish.
Nah, but it smells good coming out the wrapper. It smells good when it's lit, and the flavor it's not overwhelming. It's enjoyable. Like you look forward to the next time you puff on the cigar,
and you could taste the coffee as well.
Yeah.
Like it's in there.
Yeah,
and it's enjoyable.
Yeah, it's
I mean, we don't always smoke dessert cigars, but this is what we're trying today.
Right. I'm used to smoking heavier cigars, a lot of Nicaraguan cigars. You don't really get much flavor from the wrapper with those, and they are stronger cigars. But this one, there's a nice aftertaste. The wrapper's sweet. You get a little taste for every time you puff. It's fantastic.
It is. It's good.
Yeah, it's good. But just seeing Joey's face, he's like, it's hilarious, bro.
I was yawning, man.
You was yawning. Yeah.
It was a yawn. All right, it's been a tough day.
I believe it.
It's a tough day.
It's Thursday. It's Thursday.
But I mean, I got a job other than this, man.
Yeah, see, look,
this doesn't pay the bills.
It's y'all guys Thursday, and it's my Sunday, so I get to chill a little.
Sucks to be you.
Kind of does, kind of doesn't, because I actually get to relax. It's not like, my weekend is completely filled up with events to do and stuff like that. Because if it was, forget about it.
I don't leave the house unless I'm scheduled.
I can't wait to leave the house.
Yeah. I like my cave. I like my watchtower.
No, I enjoy it, man. I spend my time in the garage, smoking cigars on rainy days, or in the backyard.
Yeah.
It's summertime, man. We gotta set up for some cigars and some barbecue.
That's it.
Get the the Blackstone ready.
As soon as the weather gets good, every weekend you can just come over. We got the not the gazebo. What the hell you call that thing?
What the pergola?
The pergola?
Yeah, whatever, man. Perugula.
Perugula. Can I get a steak with some grilled perugula?
Perugula. Well, we got that going, and I have the Blackstone griddle. We can throw it on, put some burgers or steaks or whatever the hell you want. And I finally got my humidor kind of stocked up. Got 30-cent cigars in there now. Instead of 2.
Yeah, he's like, I was gonna just condense boxes for my collection today, and he's like, no you're not. Oh wait, I know why you're saying that. See, I didn't show you the pictures. So he started showing me pictures. He showed me his humidor, and then the case of cigars.
Oh, nice.
Not just the case, the boxes it came in, because the Mafada's case Oh, it was so beautiful. The way it was
immaculate.
The
yeah,
way-
I can't throw it away. I'm not throwing it away.
Bro,
It's beautiful.
The way it's presented, it's classy. It looks like a collector's item. The way it's presented, they even give you a branded cutter,
Yeah,
which looks nice.
and lighter.
It came with
It came with a cutter and a lighter.
Oh my god! Yo,
And it wasn't
I'm gonna have
bad,
to
but
order
it was 6 cigars. It's like a sampler.
Okay.
It says, but it's 6 cigars. My father's cigars. It came with a cutter and a lighter, and it was about $61 on Neptune Cigars. So it's not bad, and I kind of enjoy my father's cigars. My father's cigars.
and cigars with your father.
I had cigars with my father. Yes.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
those sampler packs. A lot of the sampler packs usually they just come with the cigars themselves, but that's awesome. It came with a little like
Yeah.
gift set.
The lighter is weird. It's like it has a rubber outside, so it's like it has a good grip.
Oh, it's
Like,
like a
like
silicone.
even like in the rain, you can't drop it or anything. It
Oh,
don't get
that's
slippery.
nice. That's nice.
But it's real nice. It's a torch, but it flips up like a
Like a regular lighter.
Right.
yeah,
Nice.
Like a
So-
Zippo.
like a Zippo. There you go.
Oh,
That's what I was
okay.
looking for. But it's nice. It's nice. It's the cutter's nice, little white. It says my father on it. It double cuts, but you got me into the hole punches.
That's right.
Yo, the hole punches is dope. You don't get any of the tobacco leaf in your mouth, and it's
You don't.
It's
you don't,
perfect.
You don't
It's a
lose a
perfect
piece of the
cylinder.
cigar.
and you don't lose a piece of the cigar at all. No, it's better than any cut that I usually get, which is I usually go for a tight V cut
Right.
because it just it gives you the right amount, especially for like a triple. For that triple, you want to get that pull, you want to get that flavor in, but these cylinder punches, yo, I think this is the go-to. This is the go-to.
Yeah, I started doing this. I don't know, maybe about 2-3 years ago. I started getting, different cutters, V cut, guillotine, standard straight cut, and I'm like, okay, let me try a couple of things out. And I just saw in the shop one day, I can't even remember exactly where I picked up my first one, but I was like, okay, we could do a hole punch. And like you said, with the airflow, it's about the same. Some are a little bit better. It comes, the thickness gauge, just like, any ring gauge you can get. It's not as big as a ring gauge, but they measure it in millimeter. So you can get a small circle punch or for a larger ring gauge. With a lot of times with the straight cut, especially if you're starting out, straight cut and V cuts, you're going to get a lot of residue from the cigar. Because once you cut the cap, which is the back end, when you puff out of, you get a lot of like strands of tobacco coming through.
Yeah.
Not that the cuts are bad.
No, absolutely
I mean,
not.
you could the V cut. I used to go V cut all the time.
Yeah.
And for torpedo cigars, I went what they call the dick cut, which
Yes.
is the slanted cut, so that
The slanted cut.
the smoke hits your tongue.
Yeah.
You get the flavor right away. But this guy was like hole punch, and I was like, all right, no, I do hole punch.
Well, it's not just because I like hole punch, but also I'm like, okay, well, I carry one on my keychain. I don't always carry a cutter on me. That's convenient. But like Joey said, certain cigars, if you got a box cigar or a torpedo or something like that, you need to have a straight cut or a V cut. Because although some box cigars, you can do the punch, but with the straight cut, sometimes it doesn't fit around the cap on a box cut. So V cut is the way to go for those.
Well, let's tell the audience how many different types of cigars are there, as far as like shapes. So,
Wow.
because the people are getting to know us, we don't know what they know, and they don't know what we know.
Look, but
So,
more like how long you been smoking cigars? First of all,
me on and off. I want to say maybe a year or two.
a year or two. Okay.
Maybe a year or two. I would say about 2 years, 2.5 years, something like that.
But you just started smoking more because of me now, huh?
Well,
I kind of
actually,
peer pressured you.
Actually,
Peer
no.
pressure, peer pressure.
I used to smoke cigarettes for a few years, and then I quit cold turkey. Then I ended up back and forth on it, and then cigars. I was like, oh no, cigars is the go-to. Cigars are the go-to, and my first cigar was with my my friend from Cincinnati, and well, he's not from Cincinnati. He lives in Cincinnati now. And my first cigar was with him in his backyard. We was having a shot of whiskey, and we just decided to, have a cigar. He asked me if I ever had one. I'm like, no, never had one. So I had a box Macadoodle, and
Nice.
it was a very interesting smoke because it was chocolate. So my first cigar was a flavored one, and it was chocolate, and it was awesome. And also after that, I had Java after, and Java was my go-to. So Java cigars are like my preferred cigar to have as a regular. You know what I mean? Like, I can't go wrong with a Java.
Yeah. I smoked cigars for like 10 plus years. Started smoking anything, any little cigar. We would go to shop, whatever they had behind the glass. Not White Owl.
Not White Owl?
Yeah, not
Black and Milds?
No Black and Milds.
Okay.
It wasn't no cigar that came in,
No damn
in an
bodega
envelope.
cigars.
No shisha sweets?
Nah. we did smoke hookah for a while. When it was the thing, we had a whole big hookah set up with 4 hoses and all the flavored shisha and all that stuff.
Hoses. The
4
hoses.
hoses. Yes, hoses.
Hoses, not
Hoses.
hose.
Not hoses. But they got pictures out there where we're smoking the fat old Churchill cigars, freaking huge ones, because we thought it was cool. But then, after a while, we started looking at brands. We started looking at what we liked, the type, the strength, the size, the ring gauge, stuff like that. And now I liked my father's. And then my dad introduced me the other day to the Casa Fuente, which I smoke with the Fuentes as well. But that Casa Fuente, I'd never had it before, and I kind of loved it, actually. Oh. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed that smoke. It was good. I was kind of surprised by it because he was telling me it was a strong cigar, and I like medium, mild cigars really, and he was telling me it's strong, but it wasn't strong at all. It was pretty good, or at least for me, it wasn't that strong.
Yeah, strong like a freight train, like you hear in the background. So if you guys hear that, that's just a train passing by. You can't have a live stream over in New York without a train passing by. Come on, baby.
At least there's no police sirens or ambulance sirens going on.
Oh no, we heard that earlier.
Yeah.
We heard that earlier.
Well,
we just drowned the sound out with the smoking and the laughing.
You can't be in the hood without some hood background.
No.
How about Yuki?
Yeah.
So it's I've been smoking probably just a little longer than you, more than 10 years, probably 15. And it's pretty much the same, like whatever anyone would give me or whatever I pick up somewhere. The way I started really was when I was working security at a hospital, Long Island, North Shore Hospital somewhere. I think it was in New Rochelle, and I was working on the maternity ward. So hey, it's a boy, hey, it's a girl. They're always giving out cigars,
handing out cigars everywhere.
Every day. I worked. In a week, I probably got 15 cigars.
Ooh.
And different types, because when they buy them and they put the label on it, you really don't know what the brand is.
But you was well stocked though for that time.
I was stocked up. I mean, for a guy that didn't even start smoking yet. I had about 15, 20 cigars in a week, and I'm like, okay, cool, great. I didn't even have a humidor. I didn't even know anything about keeping it at temperature or anything like that. It was just like, here's a cigar. Oh my god,
So you were smoking some stale ass cigars?
Yeah, you could have given me a branch off the tree. I wouldn't have known the difference back then. But people just giving me everything and anything that that was around, and I just okay, I lit one up, started smoking it. I was like, okay, this is kind of cool, I wasn't a virgin lung, I didn't like cough my lungs out on the first one. But then I started looking, okay, what's this? What's that? Some of them did have labels on them. actual brand labels. But Lord, it's been so long, I don't even know which ones were. But then I started getting into it, and I stumbled on with some of the guys I used to work with. We smoked. We know Lou. You probably remember Beatties.
Beatties, yeah.
Like this little rolled cigarettes.
Rolled cigarettes, yeah.
Yeah. And things like that, and then clove cigarettes, things like that. So I kind of went the gambit of trying things out. I started really learning about cigars through some of my military friends, and then also, oddly enough, I worked with a social worker that I'm not going to mention his name, but he, great guy. He would disappear. I mean, he was like, the typical, the guy you got to look for when they're on break.
Yeah, there's too many people like that. Too many people in my job, at least.
Right. That's what you do on break. You disappear.
You get a half hour and you're gone for an hour and a half.
Exactly.
And he would go and smoke a cigar out in the parking lot, and we would start talking. And I was like, "Oh man, what the hell?" He's like, "Oh, that's okay." I was like, "Oh, I smoke here and there, but I'm like still kind of learning." This was about 10 years ago. Out of the 15 past that I started smoking, and he would bring me different ones. He would bring me Padrones. He would bring me Macanudos. He would bring me different ones, and that's kind of where I found my flavor niche.
Well, you found your palate.
Yeah, and I ended up settling. Not that I'm settling like it's something less than, but I settled on Olivas, Nicaraguan tobacco, Robusto as far as the size, 5-inch length, and usually like a 50 ring gauge. When they do the ring gauges, it's by millimeter, so 50 is like 2-inch ring gauge.
Yeah.
Right?
Speaking of which, real quick, Joey, can you tell us what kind of cigars we got, like styles and the different types of wraps? What we got?
Should I do that joke again?
If you want to.
Like a gangster rap. You got bumble rap. I'll be here all week. No, we have like cigars, right? So when the wrapper's light is usually a nice light smoke, like the double claro, the claro cigars. Then you get into like the more medium, which is like the Colorado and the Colorado Maduro. Then you get the darker wraps, which is the Maduro and the Oscuro. I actually like a Maduro, the Camacho Triple Maduro.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that one.
Those are good. Those are real good.
That was another smooth one. I thought it was going to be strong.
The flavor was great, but it wasn't a harshness to it. It was like enjoyable.
Well, you don't want the harshness.
No, you don't want harshness.
The strength of the cigar.
But see, a lot of people, when I say harsh, because people who smoke cigars, right, are normally not people who used to smoke cigarettes, and some people who smoke cigarettes want to come into the field of smoking cigars have the tendency to inhale, right? Mm-hmm. And of course, you're gonna get harshness. It's pure tobacco. You're gonna get that straight into your lungs, but you don't want to do that. But the harshness is the flavor, and it's not harsh. It's more of a strong, potent. That's the word I should be using, which is potent flavor. Mm-hmm. And it was very potent, that triple. So, if you want to go dark and get that flavor, just hitting the palate, it's different. It's way different. And what gauges do we have as far as sizes, like the ring sizes?
Well, there are different ring sizes. So the lengths, you'll hear names for length like Corona, Lonsdale, Churchill, which is famous for Winston Churchill, is usually like a 6.5 to 7 inch cigar length.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. But the thing is, with Churchill's, it's famous for what he used to smoke. Lancero, it's also a long cigar, 7 to 7.5 inch. Sometimes, not always. Again, it's by the the design of the cigar, and this has been developed for years and years. Um, you know, usually the longer the cigar, it's the smaller the ring gauge, meaning how thick the cigar is around. A lot of the flavored ones are hit or miss, but most of the time you'll get a Corona, which is like a 5.5 to 6 inch length, and a 42 millimeter ring gauge.
That's what I call the chicken finger. That's the chicken finger right there.
What a great audience we have.
I know, right? So, with that, like, with you guys, I've been to a couple of cigar lounges, and we dabbled in different spots, like mom cigars and dad cigars.
Dad cigars.
Moms
Which
and
is
dads.
yeah.
Feel like a divorced child. Like
I
go to one
know.
Let's go to dads or moms.
I know. They're like, oh no. We just split the business. I did mine's in up north. She did hers down south, and then when we were done to close shop, we came home together and we had ourselves a stogie.
The cigars are the children, and they got shared custody.
Yeah. Well, growing up, I used to get a lot of the older comics. So I had some of the 90s comics, so I'll get into, watching some of my favorite characters chomp on cigars.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, my favorites, Wolverine, Nick Fury, The Thing, Benjamin J. Grimm. Even the Hulk at one point was chomping on a cigar.
Yeah, Mr. Fix-It.
Mr. Fix-It, Joe Fix-It, baby. You
Fix-It.
can't go wrong with Joe Fix-It, baby. That's the Don right there. And, these characters, they all had, that chewing on a cigar kind of, motif. And even growing up watching Arnold, in every movie except for like Conan, he's chomping on a cigar.
Do it.
Yeah, come on,
Buy a
all that
cigar.
stuff,
Do it.
Yeah, and
Getting chop
Predator, he was doing it too. And I remember an interview with Carl Weathers. May he rest in peace. We lost him this year,
A legend.
and he's a legend. Yeah, he's a straight up legend. And he basically said that he's never had cigar in his life. Like, he was an athlete. He did
Oh, yeah.
Rocky, he did all this stuff. He
Action
never
Jackson, come on.
Yeah, he never did any kind of tobacco touch his lips, his lungs, or whatever. And this was, prior to him. And then he said Arnold just shoved a box of Cubans into his dressing room and said, "Here." And after that, he was hooked. And it's
Smoke
something
up, Johnny.
about
Time for you to be a man.
yeah, no, but it's something about smoking a cigar.
Dylan, you
Relaxing.
son of a bitch.
Exactly. But that's the vibe we get here when we see each other. That's the vibe that most people have when you go to the cigar lounge, especially from what I've seen. Everybody knows everybody. They come over to watch the sports games, or they just come over just to have a good time and smoke and let off some steam. You know what I mean?
Sometimes they don't even know people, but they're friendly. It's you go there, you sit down.
Yes.
You end up talking to someone about a game that's on TV or anything.
Yeah.
And when people get up and go, they always go, "All right, hey guys, have a good one." And
Yeah, have a good
everybody goes, "Oh." So it's like the lounge
it's
is like
tradition. It's a traditional thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's good courtesy. But check this out. So I remember when we were there a couple of weeks ago, a guy complimented me on my Ninja Turtle hat. We were all going crazy about Ninja
That's
Turtles.
right. Yep.
And not only do we talk about cigars and we have different types of cigars, here in Cigars and Ash, we're going to talk about the cigar we're smoking, the pull, how long does the flavor last, and what drink would actually go with the cigar, and then our collection.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. We've got a good mix of things that we talk about.
I'm drinking an Arnold Palmer.
Arnie Palmy.
An Arnie Palmer.
Yeah.
So, Keith, what we drinking?
We got a nice bottle of Woodford Reserve, some Kentucky bourbon.
I knew it was bourbon because it had that kick, baby.
Oh man,
Woo.
let's put hair on your knuckles, anybody's knuckles, 7-year-olds.
You mean what? You mean just your knuckles, man? You gotta put in your fingernails too, baby, because this is good shit. This is good shit.
This will give you a kick. We talk about, we're not experts in any sense in anything except for maybe collecting. But there's a lot of different pairings you can do. The type of cigar, the strength of the cigar, the type of drink. We talked about what we're smoking, the double roast nub nuance. It's a good flavorful cigar. It's a breakfast cigar. It's an after dinner cigar. Maybe some cappuccino.
Yeah,
some
cappuccino, espresso, something that complements it with a kick. You know what I mean? It's not a cigar that you have by itself that just hits you in the face.
Get an Irish coffee, man.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Irish coffee.
Nice little Irish coffee.
You ain't saying nothing but a thing, baby. I want me an Irish coffee right now.
Something sweet and strong.
That's right.
But
Which, by the way, same way I like my women, sweet and strong.
Sweet and strong.
Hey yo.
Hey yo. But what do you guys have humidors? Do you recommend humidors? Or for someone that's starting, what do you recommend?
I mean, something small in the beginning. I mean, you don't want to go all out for no reason, like I did. A small humidor, something with a little gauge on it to let you know the humidity on it.
Mm-hmm.
You go digital if you want, or analog, depends on how you feel. Something with a window so you can see how many cigars you have before you open it. Something that's small, 30,
20,
50,
30, 50,
something, I mean, if you're just starting, you're not going to stock yourself up with like end of the world kind of thing where
right, yeah.
It's like I need to buy every single box.
Listen, I don't have a closed closet. I have a encased opening in my apartment, just cigars. Thousands. No, so
Dedicate one whole room
just to cigars.
It's a walk-in closet full of cigars. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
That's a dream.
So, if you're starting out, and like most of us, you're usually gifted a cigar, or maybe it's a special occasion. You may only have, especially if you're starting out, maybe let's say at most 5 cigars at any given time. Are we saying for you to make a maybe a $50 investment to get a humidor? Yes. Yes, depending if you want to make it a hobby, if you want to be consistent about it. If you want to, have it part of your lifestyle, maybe a weekly routine. The humidors, you can get travel humidors, which have, they look like leather pouches, carry 2 or 3 at a time, 4 at a time sometimes. Travel ones that have a zipper, they almost look like a
pouch, right?
A pouch or a trapper keeper back in the day. It just zips up. If you're only going to have 3 or 4 at a time. If you smoke on a weekly basis or a daily basis, and you have maybe 10 to 12, maybe even 20 cigars, put the investment in. $50, you can get a decent humidor to start out with, and it'll hold about 40 to 50 cigars. Now, a box of cigars, depending on the brand, the length and the thickness, the ring
Pause.
gauge. Yes.
He likes a big boy.
There's going to be a lot of inappropriateness and innuendo. So a box of cigars may hold, like if you're buying a brand and a sealed box of cigars, could hold somewhere between 10 to 20, 25 cigars. So that's where you kind of gauge when you're going to start smoking more. You can keep them in the box. They sell humidity packs. Bovetta, which is a little humidity pack, you throw it in there. It's usually good for a week or two. But when you move up to having more types in your home, definitely invest into, maybe to hold 100 cigars, which may sound like overkill, but because of the size and the length of the cigars, they may not all fit properly. So always go with more than what you think you need.
Okay.
Yeah, because of the different limbs. But don't forget that when you get those boxes, when you get the small humidors, you have to season them. And you have to use distilled water, not regular water, because regular water, it's going to grow mold.
Absolutely.
And you're going to ruin your box. With distilled water, you need to wipe it down. The whole thing, not soak it because you don't want it you don't want the wood to soak up too much water. You just want to wipe it to soak enough.
Okay.
Close the box and you'll see the humidity gauge.
Okay.
And when it reaches that good amount, like 65?
Between 65 and 70 is what most. It's that's considered like the magic number.
Yeah, because mine's right now at 69.
Yeah. Heyo.
But mine's like a 69 now. But I have a 200. It says it holds 250 cigars. But
I believe it.
But it's like a 2 foot, and it's electric. I plug it in. I put in distilled
you
water.
Stuff that shit with cigars.
I set it and forget it. But I just upgraded, so it wasn't like I had that the whole time.
Yeah.
I just got it for my birthday last year for myself.
Nice.
That was just a couple months ago. But before that, I just had a small box, and now that small box is in my car.
the travel cigars.
Now it's the travel one because you can actually stand them up because it was small. It's like a 15 cigar holder, so it's small. You put them standing up.
Yeah.
They hold. I have the travel cup ash trays and everything. So I use them when I drive home, or I go anywhere and I'm by myself in my car. I go ahead and light up a smoke coming from work. I work down in Manhattan. I live up in Nyack. It's ridiculous. It's a long drive, especially in the traffic. So it's always good to just light up a smoke and puff on a nice cigar to calm my road rage up down.
Yeah, dude.
I think I came here today, dude, yelling at people. This guy was looking at me like, "Yo, chill,
dude."
Okay.
Like I was listening to him on his way to pick me up.
The inaugural.
I hate the city.
I hate the city.
I hate
remark.
the city. Yeah,
That's the inaugural. I hate the city.
I was born and raised here, but I hate the city now.
yeah.
Until I come in here. Did I tell you I hate driving in the city?
Dude, I'll tell you this right now. Hearing him in his road rage driving to pick me up, I'm like, all right, let me know when you're here. I'm here talking with him, getting ready, and he's over here cursing up a storm. He's like, where you gonna go? Where you gonna go? Where you gonna go? Where you gonna go? Hey, boo boo, where you gonna go?
It's rush hour. It's rush hour. There's cars. It's the highway's packed.
Like you said, it's
But
rush hour.
there's a car.
No one's going nowhere.
Everybody's going nowhere, exactly.
I mean,
but there's always a guy in a car that wants to cut people off. They're trying to swerve in and out lanes for no reason at all.
Hey, you ever find it weird that there's always a lot of people on the road, like between 3 and 5 o'clock?
3 and 6, yes.
That's amazing.
That's because that's the standard 9 to 5 worker.
Look, I know it's rush hour. It doesn't mean you have to rush through traffic to get home. Dude, everybody stand still. Don't try to cut me off, especially when you don't put a signal on. Don't get me started, man. Don't get me started. I'm gonna get frustrated.
You can hear the rage in them already. You can hear the rage.
I'm gonna get me started,
look
and I'm not even driving.
Look out for the blooper reel and the behind the scenes. It's gonna be just a straight hour of him raging.
Just me raging.
Yeah,
on the
he's
microphone.
raging and
These mother.
Yeah, so.
What I wanted to add, I forgot to add in. Cut off. I cut you off.
God damn it!
I cut you off at the pass.
First driving now this.
That most humidors are made of wood, and they are advertised with cedar, which helps. Whether they're made of full cedar or they're just lined with cedar, but there's actually acrylic canisters. They look like Tupperware, honestly, but
or jars.
You don't have to season them because it's non-porous. It's so those will hold a lot better, especially if you're starting out. Those are maybe $20-$30 if you buy one of those.
Yeah.
And they'll hold maybe 10 to 15 cigars, which are great.
Yeah, see that? That's something I have to look into because I have a small space because of my collection, which we're gonna get into in a bit.
Oh.
So, as a couple of people, you even got mason jars. You can use a mason jar to keep your stuff,
25 count, they all straight down.
Yeah, and nice and held up. I see those in the smoke shops. They have a lot of them in glass jars and the handmade ones, which is dope.
You can throw a pack in there.
Yeah. But in regards to smoking, we're also collectors, and some of us we smoke outside of our collection. Some of us smoke inside the collection. Some of this collection is encased in a nice cabinet that prevents the smoke from getting in there. So, you know, as a collector, I collect multiple things. I pretty much collect a lot of different things. Before I go into my long list of collecting, Joey, what do you got as a collector? What do you collect?
The ladies. I have to. Anyway, no, man. I collect a lot of things.
Oh yeah, like what?
Okay, I'm not gonna mention it. It's gonna be dead silent for a good 5 minutes now.
Go ahead.
So, I collect a lot of Spider-Man comics.
Okay.
I'm a big Spider-Man fan, so I have a lot of their comics. You know, from especially the '60s, man. Under issue 100, you know, I have
Gotta love Silver Age.
Silver Age.
That's right.
I got and I also collect the Funko Pops.
Funko Pops, aren't those for kids?
The landfill.
Landfill? They're not toys. No, the landfill is from the really terrible lines. Like, for some reason, they had a dog line, thinking that like dog lovers were gonna buy
Funko Pets.
Yeah,
not
Funko
the
Pets.
movie. Just actual pets. They just had random dog figures.
Yeah, like people like this. No,
Well, they gave it a test. Right, to see if it
now it's in the landfill with ET.
yeah.
With ET games from Atari, which I actually own one, and I enjoyed as a child. Okay, I'm one of the few that enjoyed the ET game.
You enjoyed the ET game? See, my
Yes.
game was Zen, the Intergalactical Ninja. That was my ET game. Like that was, anything involving aliens, it was that or the Predator versus Alien on my Game Boy.
Yeah, but I'm dating you, bro. I'm talking about the Atari 2600. I still got Spider-Man.
Jeez.
The Spider-Man.
The wood,
Dude, I
wood
owned-
grain console.
Wood grain console,
I
yeah,
own
with
that.
one joystick.
I own the Commodore 64 as well. And that's just a keyboard you connect to a computer. And I used to program it. A cousin of mine used to give me some program, basic 10, start and all that stuff. And you put it in, and when you play, it turns into a game. So
Nice.
I hundreds of lines of code, and it's to play tennis. And sometimes the naughty stuff, which, I can let my mother know.
Yeah, like Snake.
Like Custard's
Pong.
No, like Custer's Last Stand. For those that, I'm gonna use the Jennifer Lopez. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
But now I'm into. I still collect Funko Pops. The funny thing is that it's a good return. People don't.
He Rochambeaued me into collecting Funkos.
I ran into him
I
and
was
then
not
it was
falling
like,
for
hey.
it.
Yeah, but I mean, talking about $15 pop that I sold for $1,000. That's a good return.
That's a good return. No, that's definitely a good return. But with the
It's-
way I was moving, my collecting habit wouldn't allow me to.
No, because isn't it for some reason, don't know why. Because people look at it, he's not that detailed, especially the older ones. And you're like, for some reason, you
They
get
were
addicted.
all brocked out like
Yeah.
old He-Man figures.
He-Man
they had
figures.
the same
Same-
football stance,
Oh
kind of
my
like
God.
arms down.
And it's weird, but it became addicting, and I ended up having like, I don't know, 1,000 of them probably, even maybe a little more before I went on just selling them off. And then now all I keep are the signed ones. So I have ones that if I can get it signed, I will buy it to get it signed. We have the boys collection signed. We're missing Maeve. Got the Married with Children signed by all four.
Oh, Bundy.
Well, Bundy. We got a lot of horror ones signed. I got the Freddy Krueger signed. I got the Jason signed. I got Pinhead signed. Got Elvira signed. I have
Oh wait! You gotta talk to me about that Elvira. You gotta tell me that story real quick.
the story. No, if you want to talk about signatures, we have stories for signatures.
No,
Keith
no,
and
no,
I.
no, no, no,
All
no.
right, but
Just Elvira.
starting with that, no, nothing. It was actually Keith. He went off to Florida MegaCon, right?
Also, it was Keith who had.
Well, he got it, and he gave me the vid. Well,
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you'll see.
Yeah.
He went to MegaCon, right, in Florida.
No, was
That-
it? It was Spooky Empire.
Oh,
Spooky.
Empire.
Okay, go ahead, Keith. Go ahead. Take over.
So he went to get Elvira pop signed, right?
Well, so I got tricked and bamboozled into collecting these Funko things.
Got him, boys. Funko, send me an envelope.
Because Joey, we go to comic conventions and we ran into each other one time randomly, and we started going to conventions again together and hanging out.
And then he ignored me for the rest of the year.
Yeah, and then
Every Comic Con I would see him, and then he just ignored me.
It was I ignore you for the other 11 months of the year, and then he started giving me random Funko Pops. I'm like, oh yeah, this is cool. Okay, yeah, I'll hold on to it.
Random. It was a certain type.
Yeah, no, he gave me a few different ones, right? What's his name? Olaf from Frozen.
And every single Olaf type.
Every single Olaf.
Yes,
that's all he would give me.
Just Olaf.
But I got into it, and just like any collecting, you go through waves. You have people that are completists, which you have to have every single one that's released, or you can collect just what you like. And I weave in and out of both of them sometimes, depending what it is. And like Joey, I ended up with a good amount of pops. And they're not easy to store. So
No, they're not, because a lot of it's dead space. And I can tell you from my personal experience with collecting different things, dead space is a problem. That's why I get rid of majority of my boxes, and I'm still in the process of getting rid of boxes.
That's the funny thing though about the Funko. You could take them. It's one of the only collectibles you could take out the box
and put them right back in.
Put them right back in and sell it as if it was sealed.
Yeah.
Because you can't tell if they're open or not. There's no tag. There's no seal to it.
Well, there's another one you can do, but it's a little more finicky if you remember how to put it back, and that is Mezco's. Mezco's, because they don't have a tape on the box.
Right,
so
they're not tamper resistant.
Yeah, and there's no twist ties. So as soon as you get them, they have like wrapped plastic around them, and you just have to peel the plastic off. But the plastic can go back on, but you can tell if it's fresh or not based on how many wrinkles are on the plastic.
Right.
And that's real OCD-ish.
Yeah.
And I know because I'm a little OCD.
That's
But
fine.
so I understand you do that.
Or I
Box
tell
not
people I have
see
CDO because it's alphabetical
Alphabetical.
order. I got the next level.
So
Going to Spooky Empire. So after collecting for a bit, some conventions will have an exclusive that they only release at the convention. New York always has one. San Diego, the big conventions each year. But there are also smaller genre-related conventions, Spooky Empire being one of them, which is mainly horror. And they were releasing a Elvira variant. So I said, I'll go down there, I try to get one. Long story for another day, there was a fiasco there. We'll get into it at some other time. But I ended up getting it. And, for me, I've always been a collector of, whatever catches my eye. And Elvira, I've had every single Elvira pop there is, and I have them signed. But the time that I went there, Elvira's there. Unfortunately, I went there on my own. But being the great friend and collector that I am, I said, hey, you want anything? He's like, oh, tell her to have her say hi to me.
Yeah, that's what I want. Just have her look in the camera and say hello to me.
So what does she say? There's a lovely little video we'll probably post it on our Instagram of her saying, unpleasant dreams, Joey, and giving a little wink and a wave.
Oh, the way she always does?
Yes.
And I got that locked away.
Oh, my God.
Up here.
I'll tell you this right now, man. Elvira was one of my video crushes from back in the day.
Still is.
And
I'm sorry.
She's a hottie.
She could be 80 and she still look good.
Oh, okay, gross.
She's what? Close to 70, right?
Yeah.
No, Bob. I'm thinking about Elvira then,
she looks
not
great.
Elvira
Dude, but she
now.
looks great
She
now.
looks great.
Oh, no,
The
I'm saying
videos-
she still looks good, but still, it's like, you said 80?
She's 72. Look at her.
Yeah, she's 72. She's a hot granny. But when you pushing 80, man, I don't know, man.
Let's put this in context. We're in our mid 40s, so
Yeah.
we're not. That
I didn't
far
even
off.
hit 40 yet.
Oh well, yeah.
He's the birthday boy here.
Yeah, not even 40 this
Not
year.
yet. Not yet. Close though, 39, right?
Yeah, 39 this year.
All right, so you still got a year to go.
So it's not that unheard of to have a crush on Elvira.
No, it's not that unheard of. No. Because, you had, your stars of the TV, you had your Pee Wee Herman, your Tales from the Crypt, and then you had Elvira. It's like, oh, hello.
She brought a lot of young boys into manhood just from that
Oh,
movie.
yes, she did. Yes,
Especially
she did.
the ending when she was doing the tassels.
Oh, my
yes.
God, don't get me started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Well.
he did the video for me, man, and,
Well.
I was happy. I was ecstatic.
So-
I was like, yes, let's go.
So, Keith, what else do you collect besides some pops?
So I also collect comic books. Even more embarrassing than Funko Pops, some would think. I started out collecting Lego minifigures.
That's not something to be tease off. That Legos make more money than Funko Pop if you think about it.
They do, honestly. It's so strange.
Nothing
that
beats Lego.
Lego holds their value, people.
Yeah, but it's you should, because I mean, like, you got a 1 in 26 Funko Pop that one dude collected all the Venom Freddy Funkos. It was like
God.
26 of them, and he was selling them off for like 40-50 grand.
Yeah, those are crazy.
So you're talking about one they gave out for free at a convention, and
Well, yeah.
I'm sorry, I got distracted there for a second. They gave it out for free
we're notorious at conventions.
Wait, we're gonna
we are.
get to that. We're gonna
We'll
get to that. We'll get to that.
But you're talking about then they gave it free. They gave away free at a convention.
And there's the sirens.
There it goes. Well, I think that's a fire truck though.
That still counts.
The Bronx is burning. And he collected them and he was offering people money, but then he went ahead and switched it out and said, okay, I'm gonna sell them now. And he held like 90% of them. So selling them off, he was like, oh, 70 grand for this. And people were like, oh, well, on the website here, there's a website that you could check the prices on the value of the Funkos.
Current sales, 30-day, 90-day averages.
And because he held on to them, he could set the price.
Mm-hmm.
So the website said they were $1,000 each, let's say. But he's like, yeah, but I own 20 of the 26. So you think it's going to be $1,000? No. You want one of these, $70,000. And people were just like, holy, who's going to spend 70 grand? And he sold a couple. Just to let you know, he sold a couple.
This goes to prove, this is a good point to point out. We're talking about collecting. There's always a buyer for anything.
Yep.
Someone is willing to pay, they'll pay anything that they're willing to for something that they want. And the other thing, what this guy did was controlling the market in a sense.
Yeah, basically.
Of limiting the supply. So that's something to keep in mind when you're collecting.
So, yeah. So, see, while you guys are talking about expensive bobbleheads, I collect other things, imports, and some realistic figures, some figures that are animated, and so on and so forth. So, my collection goes from Hasbro, Marvel Legends, Revel Tech from any genre, SH Figure Arts, any genre. Oh my God, it's disgusting. I got third parties from
Every genre.
third parties from every genre.
All the genres.
I got Hot Toys from the big main ones, which is Marvel and Star Wars right now. DC, not so much. I only got 2 characters from DC.
Shout out to DC. DC doesn't get a lot of love in the collector's market.
They don't, but then again, they don't make too much stuff. That's how can I say? That's readily available until McFarlane started getting his hands inside the collecting community. So he does the 7-inch scale figures, and he just started flooding the market with a lot of repaints and a lot of versions, reusing some sculpts and stuff like that. What most toy companies do, but for DC love, you go to McFarlane, he's gonna pump them out. Like that Blue Beetle figure, everybody was raving about it. You had to buy 2 different Blue Beetles to get one complete Blue Beetle, but you could get 2 different looks from them. Or you can mix and match and get
like
a different
hand sculpts, head sculpts.
Oh, different weaponry. You get the wings. Like one came with the sword, the other one came with the blaster. So you had options. See, me, I like to have all my option parts with the figure. So like Amazing Guy Maguchi, which is the Reveltech, they just did a Agent Venom figure, and you had to buy a pre-order bonus from the actual site, and you can get an extra Venom head sculpt. So you just pop that head off and put the Venom head on, and you have yourself a more aggressive looking Venomized, or Agent Venom, if you will. And that figure is awesome. It has newer technology. It beats Hasbro Marvel Legends Agent Venom like by miles. But I also collect Hot Toys. So my Hot Toys is mostly Spider-Man and Star Wars. But I do have RoboCop. I do have Samurai Predator, which is basically an artist's take. I have a couple of artists labeled Hot Toy figures. And then I have tons of exclusives. Most recently, I pre-ordered like 5 Hot Toy figures from the Star Wars May the 4th collection, and we're getting 2 more exclusives tomorrow, which I was on a live stream earlier today, and it's crazy. It's crazy.
And the thing with Hot Toys, I'm scared of Hot Toys, and I'll tell you why. It's not because I don't like them, it's I'm afraid that I'm going to like them too much. And because, the detail on them, what I think was great with the Hot Toys is, the materials, the texture, when they do, it's actual real clothing on these figures, and the size, you said they're 1/6 scale.
Yes.
Right?
So approximation of 11 to 12 inches tall. So if you guys remember back in the day, before G.I. Joes were smaller figures, they did a actual 12-inch doll, which was the competitor, or the
correction, they're not dolls, they're
action figures. But most people consider them dolls because around the same time Barbie was out.
We do not collect dolls.
Barbie didn't have guns.
We collect action
No,
figures.
she had headlights.
Yeah, you can't bash Barbie either, because that collection of Barbies, man, they go for money too.
Dude, I seen all right. When I was a kid, me and my dad, my mom, and my sister, we would drive out to Coney Island, and on the highway in Brooklyn, there was a Toys R Us there. It was the biggest Toys R Us we've ever seen. It was bigger than the one in 42nd Street, and it was bigger than the one in Times Square. What was it? Union Square. Mm-hmm. And Union Square we don't have no more, and Times Square we don't have Toys R Us no more. They're technically like a pop-up shop now.
Right.
Yeah, with the Macy's and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
They sold the brand name, the trademark.
Yeah, that's because Amazon whooped their ass, but I'll leave it at that.
Well, Amazon whooped a lot of ass. So.
Yeah, exactly. But when it came down to it, there we saw like this big collection of Barbie dolls, and one of them caught my eye, which was the Addams Family. Okay. So you had everybody from the Addams Family. Yep. So, you had everybody there, even Hand. And Hand was just a little hand with a peg, and it just had it right there. The thing. That's the thing, yeah. But
Cousin It was the long-haired one.
Yeah, it was the hairy one.
Yeah. Cousin It. Yeah. That was Cousin It. They didn't have Cousin It, though. They had Thing. They had Lurch. They had no. Did they have Lurch? No, they did not have Lurch. They had Pugsley. They had Wednesday, Morticia, and Gomez himself. So I remember that back in the day. But dude, my go-to though for figures, if it's not Hot Toys, it's Mezco. And Mezco, they do the 112 scale, which is the 6 inches in figures, and they have soft goods and some vinyl material and stuff like that on the figures. And it was received well because they started off with a great character, and that was the Dark Knight Returns Batman from the comics. And
Yes.
also, they have a comic book version of what's his name, Judge Dredd.
Yes.
So what they did,
I am the law.
I am the law. Yes. So basically, those.
Stallone comes to mind.
Yeah,
I am law.
I am the law.
Hey, the podcast is free to listen to. It's free to like and share, and you get all these bad impressions too for free.
For free.
Oh yeah, for free.
For now. No.
For now. But those figures are nice. They're collectible, and they flip for a high price too. So not as high as like what was it, 27,000 you said for a pop?
Like almost 70.
Over 70. Dang, that's crazy. That's just ridiculous for a bobblehead. But when you see this,
They're not all bobbleheads.
no,
I
they're not.
think
Only the Marvel.
only the Marvel.
Only the
exactly.
Marvel's bobblehead. Yeah. Let's get that right.
There's a little business talk behind that too, because they have Marvel Select and they have to have licensing for different things,
Diamond Select, yeah.
right? You know, but Marvel, the other Marvel figures that they Marvel Legends, they have to make them with a bobblehead spring head.
Yeah.
So they can get around the infringement and the licensing for
Yeah.
action figures.
Yeah, exactly. Because if someone else has the license for a bobblehead, which they don't, but they have other figures that have similar styles of a bobblehead, like what is it, the sodas, like what was it, Loyal Subjects, or any of these other companies that do them, they have exclusive rights to it, so they have to do something different to
I mean, because
make it happen.
it's a pop style,
Yeah,
but just with a spring in the head, so it's wobble.
yeah.
I mean,
but-
so it's a bobblehead, but not a complete bobblehead,
Right.
and it's not an action figure because it doesn't move.
Yeah, I've seen I think it was one figure sell for $5,000 from Mezco, and it's crazy because the price went up, and then when it got out of control, they kind of reissued it in a different color, so everybody brought it down. Right now, I think the most expensive, if I check right now, the most expensive Mezco is still the white Skull Agent, which only 500 was made.
So that's the price right now for the Funko Freddy as Venom. To
Jeez.
26,980.
Yeah, that's the asking price.
I can't do that. That's
That was on HobbyDB, so that's even.
Okay.
That's the website they go to check the pricing or the value of the Funkos, or the Funko Pops. They're not called Funkos.
No.
Funko Pops.
Funko is the name of the company. Pop is the
specific line.
Yeah, because they have
The-
sodas.
right.
Yeah, they have different
the
types
product
of lines.
line is Pop.
Yeah, Mezco 112. Let's
So Lou's looking that up. It's good that we're talking about collecting. Just like cigars, it's whatever you get into, and then there's not so much we would say flipping in the cigar market that I know of.
You'd be surprised, man.
you
I
know.
mean, I have talked to people that that they collect cigars. So
Yeah.
they collect vintage cigars and stuff like
Right.
that, and that's not to smoke.
Right, cigars that are 20, 30 years old, and again, we talked about before, the humidor and keeping it at a certain temperature and level of humidity, RH, what they call relative humidity, it'll last forever, in essence, if you keep it right.
Word.
But, in terms of flipping, there's collectors. Unfortunately, we all resell some figures here and there. But if your only goal is to flip what you bought, you're not a collector.
No, it happens.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't fit your collection anymore.
Right.
You change the style of what you collect,
Mm-hmm.
or you just want to get rid of stock that you have because you have them in a basement or in a bin somewhere in the closet. You're not even displaying them, so
Right.
you might as well just get rid of them.
Yeah, and speaking from someone that's had 10 to 12 bins in his garage and in his boiler room. Yeah, you know, especially in New York City apartments, you don't have enough space to collect your thoughts, let alone collect anything else.
Exactly. So space is always going to be the bane of our collecting existence, as far as, you know, the vast amount, the different types, what you want and whatnot. So, like for me, my go-to is always Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles has always been my jam. For other people, it was G.I. Joe's. Some other people who are further than that, Hot Wheel cars. And Hot Wheel cars make bank too.
Hot Wheel cars make bank, and I've known people that collect them, and that community is toxic as hell.
Oh yeah.
My
any
God,
community
dude.
is toxic, but that shit is like
No,
really
no,
toxic.
you're right.
Really
Any community is toxic, but I mean, from my experience, I'm not saying that everybody is, but
You
from
know,
my
this
experience,
this is not a commentary on individual collectors. There's just, you know, pockets of people that, you know, don't make it fun for anyone else.
Yeah, but that's anywhere. See, even the Hot Toys community is like
Of
that.
course.
But whatchamacallit, in the Hot Toys community more so than anything else, it's more like flippers trying to get on flippers, so they'll get on like the exclusives, just so that way they can flip it because they know it's a hot commodity. So right now, the biggest go-to, if it's not the Inarts, which they only have like 4 figures out right now, which are, I want to say, the Joker from the Batman trilogy, the Pennywise, and Gandalf. And I'm trying to think what was the fourth one. I think the fourth one is Batman.
Okay.
From the Batman.
From the Batman, the
Yeah,
Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson Batman. So those are the 4 figures that are out now by Inarts. And that's because they have very high quality.
Excuse me while I take a break and I try to order those right now. What can I get for them?
They're making purchases right now as we speak. So, as we were talking, as far as prices go for like Mezcos and stuff, you see this Raphael right here from Mezco? He comes in a 4-pack. This guy's selling him by himself for $400 or best offer.
And what was the original price of the release?
The release, $400 for all 4 turtles.
4.
Okay.
And yesterday they had a release for the exclusive. And look, the exclusive, which is right there, hasn't been released yet. $7.99.95 with $59.95 shipping. So that's already asking price. That's crazy because it's a limited edition. It's limited to the store. It's exclusive to the store.
To the one
so,
particular thing.
Yeah. So from what I recall, the amount of these figures, which are numbered, is 500 pieces.
Okay.
So that's why I ordered it. It was small batch, and it was going to come out soon. It was a buy now item, so it should come within the next 6 to 8 weeks or so, because it's supposed to happen during the Comic-Con event. That's happening in 2 months.
2 months.
Yeah, the San Diego.
San Diego.
Yeah. So they usually come out with like 2 or 3 exclusives for the convention. So one will be an early pre-order that's made to order. Like they already have it. They just want to know how many people are in. Okay, when do they get it and when do they ship it? It's a little different now because before they never had an open pre-order that was a live order ready to ship that didn't have a disclaimer of when it's supposed to arrive. And I think part of the reason is because what happened in China, or was it Japan not too long ago?
It's always China.
It was a flood over
China.
there. It was a flood over there. It was bad. So it messed up a lot of things. So things are back ordered.
Yeah, I'm guessing probably Japan or like Taiwan or that area.
Yeah. So, you know, with things overseas being that bad and, you know, they go through the trades and stuff, you know, they have to go and...
Yeah, it's not toys. A lot of things are backed up.
Yeah, there's a lot of things backed up, but we're talking about figures at this point. And, you know, for them to do that when everyone was crying that, oh, I can't get my turtles, I can't get this, I can't get the set. people were selling this for over $1,000,
Wow.
and it hasn't even hit the stores yet.
And this is not even pre-order. These are people pre-selling
Pre-selling
items that they don't even have in hand yet.
Yeah, so like the craze for it is different. Like Turtles craze is not so different from like Star Wars craze, because there's people who they'll buy everything Star Wars,
Yeah.
regardless of what it is.
Which honestly, that's the reason why I don't really collect. Actually, I don't even think I have any Star Wars figures. I have some of the comic books, and it's not because I don't like Star Wars. It's because they make so much of it. And it's hard to, if I was to resell something, it's hard to get the value back because they make so much of it. Unless
Yeah.
you have some of the original ones from the 70s.
Yeah, the
those
original Kenner.
are real value.
Final kick.
Yeah. So like Hot Toys, they're doing 2.0s now. They haven't been doing 2.0s for long, but they've been doing 2.0s recently. And people were like, oh, how's this going to affect the market and all this other stuff. And my thing is this: toys are always going to be toys, regardless if you put more quality into it, as far as making it look more realistic or not. It just becomes a high-end toy, right? So, in that regards, if I'm going to invest in anything, I'll invest in stocks.
Invest in property.
There you go.
Or property.
Property stock.
And gold, it never loses value.
That's right.
That's right.
Listen, little business side tip, buy what you like,
Yes.
and also if it's a public company, buy their stock too. Don't buy their product, buy their stock.
Cigars and ash, baby. Cigars and ash. That's all we doing. Smoking cigars, talking while the ash falls. So,
Look, I love what I have put away and I want to display is my Voltron. Big Voltron fan.
yes.
It doesn't get much love because of Power Rangers. But the
So similar.
but Go Line was first, man.
I know.
But
I'm right there with you, man.
I got the Lego.
We're not too far off.
You showed me the
Power
figure.
Rangers are first.
No, they weren't. Okay, no, they weren't. I'm not hating on Power Rangers at all.
Someone's pulling his mic cable as we speak.
I'm not hating on Power Rangers. My brother watched Power Rangers. I watched with him, so it's not a hate. Definitely not a hatred for Power Rangers. I'm just saying Voltron was first. It's basically the same thing. Power Rangers have more fighting moves outside of the mechs. But
yeah, this is true. But
man.
he wasn't the first mech for a person to pilot.
No. He wasn't.
Because back in the day, Japan, Toku, they had the Toku Spider-Man. Toku Spider-Man had Leopardon.
Yes.
And Leopardon was basically the precursor to Power Rangers. And that's the precursor to Megazord, and that's the precursor to Voltron. Precursor, that is.
Oh, that is.
So that happened before Voltron. But
It did,
Voltron-
but not Power Rangers.
no, not Power Rangers, because Power Rangers for us came in the 90s.
Yeah.
And we were already like a couple of years behind them. So we got stock footage, which kind of blended enough for us to go through. But then when we got into Zeo, that's when things like, this shit looks old.
Yeah. Once the newer releases of Power Ranger came out, like it's a Time Force and all the other ones.
Yeah, that's when they started picking up and making everything look a little bit better.
Right, but those original cut scenes.
Oh my God! Don't get me started, dude.
It's like, okay, they only look like they moved like 2 or 3 feet in the cutscenes, and then it's like a lot of dubbing and,
Yeah.
Just could
fast
tell.
action.
You just could tell.
Yes.
That's all.
But see, it was good because kids' attention spans are very short.
Oh, I couldn't remember a damn
And it was
thing.
colorful.
And it was colorful.
It was
Exactly.
colorful.
So, and plus, anybody could be a different ranger from the team. Granted, not everybody could be a leader, but some people could be the smartest one in the room. That's no different than Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles, the leader was Leo, right? But he was not perfect. He was imperfect, and he was well balanced between his 4 brothers.
That's right.
and well, his three brothers, as you know, he's the fourth. Then you look at Mikey. Mikey is basically me. Mikey, he suffers from a very human condition. I do not want this responsibility. I do not want to grow up. To hell with that shit. I am not doing it. Give me my pizza. Give me my video games. As long as I get to the highest score, that's all that matters.
Right.
I don't give a damn about nothing else. But being the most dyslexic and ADHD individual out of all of them, Master Splinter found a way to harness his ninja skills by giving him the most complicated weapon of all.
So he can concentrate.
So he could concentrate. Exactly.
That's the weaponry for each one.
Well, each weapon from the Turtles is the opposite of their characteristics.
Right, their personality type.
Yeah, exactly. Because Raphael's so offensive, he needed a defensive weapon because it's not always about attacking.
He was also impatient. That's what this was sized before. That's what the gardening tools that he got.
Yeah, gardening tools, but is gardening tools, but still they're also known as sword breakers. So you can't.
No, but what I'm saying it's to control his temper and his I call it his
and
his patience.
His patience. Yeah. And then Leo, always being the good Samaritan, he gets the most lethal of the bunch, which is katana. Meaning you can't save everybody. You have to take somebody out.
Right.
But he learns how to use them defensively.
He can use them defensively, but he still needs to use them offensively.
Right.
That's the whole thing.
You really have to control your decisions when you're having a katana.
Yes.
And then
Donatello gets a stick.
He ran out of ideas. He said, he broke a tree branch. There you go, buddy.
Robot chicken.
I was
a diaper on his face.
I was the smart one growing up. I don't know what happened. I'm dumber than the box of rocks and the box that it came in. But Donnie was my favorite, and it's when we talk about the personality types, he was so into tech and electronics and so on that Master Splinter gave him the most basic weapon to show that he does not need technology or electronics.
He overthinks. He overthinks. And this was to put his mind at ease in a more simple place. Because what happens when you overthink? You're calculating so many things. You're not acting. You're not reacting. You're so busy thinking about your next...
Analysis paralysis.
Yeah, analysis paralysis, exactly. So having the basic stick, what do? You swing it, twirl it, swing it again. And that's it.
I sure as hell was in my garage swinging around broomsticks, thinking I was Donatello when I was a kid.
Funny enough, man, everybody knows me as the tech guy.
Yeah.
Ever since I was a kid, I was building computers. But my favorite turtle was Leo.
Your favorite turtle was Leo? It's funny because you sound more like a Raph guy in the car.
Mother,
where you going? Mother effort.
Use your turn signal.
Well, we got a bit of all of them in us. But growing up, my favorite was Leonardo. I also had broomsticks, but I used them as katanas.
See, I was fortunate enough to get Halloween cosplay swords to play as Leo, but my go-to was always nunchucks. And the reason wasn't for Michelangelo. It was actually because of my father. He got me to watch Enter the Dragon.
Bruce Lee. I was going to say Bruce Lee, but I'll let you. I was like, let him say it.
And right soon after that, it was the Game of Death. And I was like, oh, man, here we go. And it's fun. It's fun. And I love it because all these things... all these things connect together, And Turtles is my go-to, but I also love Star Wars. I love the prequel Star Wars. Star Wars just... It hits me differently than other people. People remember the original 3 films. I don't remember all of them, completely, but I have rewatched them, and now I'm more versed into the original lore than backtracking, seeing what connective tissues is connective tissues. But I also see a lot of plot holes and a lot of Luke is excited to be a cadet in the Empire, but then again, he hates the Empire. Conundrum.
Something doesn't match up.
Yeah, but even as is, it's like I have nothing else better to do. What is there? The Empire, because the Republic ain't there no more.
Right.
So it kind of makes sense. Cause listen, there's not that many jobs out here, and I'm tired of being around this place full of sand. I'm gonna go and work for the Empire, be out there in space. I do not want to stay here. You know, all his friends are gonna go.
That gets me into Kevin Smith's Clerks when they talk about Star Wars.
Oh man!
And they go, hey, you talk about that, but hey, how about the contractor that they hired for the Death Star?
With this one major flaw.
Yeah, major flaw, but Luke pretty much killed those people. They were just hired. They weren't part of the Empire. They were hired to build the Death Star, and that's it.
Once you work for the Empire, you're part of the problem.
I mean, he was just building and going home to his wife, and now
Poor Henry working on E-Deck,
Hey.
clearing the vents.
That reminds me, I think it was in the Kenobi show. We saw the beginnings of the building of the Death Star, and you saw what the Empire did to people, like just doing the wrong thing at the wrong time. No, sorry, that was wasn't Obi-Wan Kenobi. That was Andor.
Yeah,
That was
I
Andor.
haven't watched that all the way through
So
yet.
yeah, Andor is real good, and the reason why I say Andor is real good, it's a lot of espionage and spy stuff. Now, to have espionage and spy stuff inside Star Wars, it's a different approach, but it's still Star Wars because you have to be the one pulling the strings. You have to fight the one pulling the strings, and how do you do that when the one pulling the strings has eyes everywhere? So, you know, a lot of these stories are great when it comes to Star Wars, especially these individual characters that we fall in love with. Shoot, like, let's talk about a oldie but a goodie. A oldie but a goodie. My man Popeye. So
oldie for sure, man.
I am
Popeye-
but that's all that
Pop-
I am.
Dates
yeah,
us all.
I am what I am, and that's all that I am. So he basically is the first anti-hero. He is the first anti-hero legitimately, starring in a comic strip that wasn't his own until Siegel just decided to put him in, and he was supposed to be that one-off character, but he was so well perceived that he ended up growing with the rest of the cast, and then eventually had his own comic strip, and then it grew into movies, cartoons, and all that other stuff. And we were supposed to get a updated Popeye animated film by Sony or Paramount, and then it just fell through for the Emoji Movie.
Oh,
So
No, the worst.
one of the worst things ever.
never seen it. Not even on the.
It's
worst
not
day.
even worth it.
Not even on, for us, you know, and me personally. Not even on my.
It's not
worst
worth the
day.
Netflix and chill. I'm telling you
No.
right now.
Yeah.
But in all aspects, when it comes down to it, that Popeye was one of the main things for me to kind of know myself a little bit better, because he says, I am what I am. That's all that I am, right? And he says he's Popeye the Sailor Man, but he's not just a sailor, he's also a World War II symbol.
Yes.
A lot for the what we call that the
Forgot
KM Ultra.
Oh, okay.
a lot of the
MK Ultra, yeah.
yeah, a lot of that signaling, yeah, go to the troops, go to war, and all that other stuff.
Buy
And-
war bonds, people. Buy
Yeah.
war bonds.
Yes. So basically Popeye is like one of the craziest things, and I saw a comic book of Popeye on Free Comic Book Day. That's a new thing. And I'm like, oh snap! The animation is, the illustrations are awesome. The speech bubbles are cool. It tells a very coherent story, but but there's not a lot of media going out about it. But Mezco was able to make 3 figures. One was the original classic Popeye that you saw, that was in Popeye meets Sinbad the Sailor.
Yes.
So they did that version. Then that same version had both hats. So if you remember the original animations, when they switched companies because the other company went bankrupt, the animation suffered a little bit and it was a little different. But he had the sailor's hat versus the captain's hat.
Yes.
So
So when we talk about the sailor's hat, the one that looks like a bowl.
Yes.
Okay.
So that was also included into the packet. Then they did the World War II look, which has both versions of the hat, the captain's hat and the sailor's hat, but it's in his World War II white outfit. Then the third one that they did was the Stormy Seas Ahead, which had both him and Bluto for the first time. And Bluto is in his typical black top and yellow bottoms, or yellow shirt, pants, and they work well together. Those figures are phenomenal. They come with a lot of accessory pieces, a lot of interchangeable parts, even beat up heads, so they could all look like they both look like they beat each other up to
they
a
can
pulp.
lump each other up.
Exactly, and a lot of the accessories is very nice, very cool. And then they just did something that Mezco only did one other time, and that is they did a reissue of the first Popeye. So I had to go grab that to see what was different between the old one and the new one, if they added newer technology to it, such as double jointed elbows or any other accessories. But it looks like it's pretty much the same exact thing, but maybe the packaging will be different.
Okay. Yeah, you talk a lot about reissues and different style lines. We've noticed in those dang-gone bobbleheads that sometimes they release newer versions, of the same character, and it may be a different sculpt, or a different body position, or maybe even a different color. Do you see that a lot in what you collect in Hot Toys and Mezco, that sometimes, it may be just, the word I would use is just, a cash grab?
Of course, bro. Listen, when it comes to stormtroopers and clone troopers, pick a flavor. Because they have different colors, different waves, and their exclusives are now the chromes. So I was able to get a couple of the chrome figures in my collection, but I didn't get every single iteration, every single color, and stuff like that, because it's just too many, and space is finite. And these are 6-scale figures. So the space that they consume was enough for 2 figures, but they're taller too. So that's less shelf space, and that's a lot of money going into a figure that I already have. So it's not like, I would say, if we want to get technical, let's go into Spider-Man from the PS4 and PS5 video game.
Okay.
All the suits are different except for one. It's the same sculpt, but the color's inverted because it's the negative suit, which makes sense.
Now, when they do the Spider-Man, again, I don't collect these. I see them, when they're advertised, but I don't pay too much attention to them. When they do something like Spider-Man, okay, is it when they change the suit? Is it a fabric suit and it's the same body sculpt, or is it molded with the different color suits?
No, it's partially. They have like maybe 3 or 4 different body types for those figures, depending on what's being made. So, for instance, my first Spider-Man figure from Hot Toys was Scarlet Spider.
Okay.
And it's by far the best
from the 90s run.
Yes, but done in the PS4 style, this Insomniac
video game
style.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Ben
Reilly's, yes. So basically, this one has the blue hoodie, red suit. That's the Scarlet Spider. So that one has like the most freeing and most posable suit, next to Miles Spider-Man from Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay.
And his is even more stretchy and breathable, and you can pose it without worrying about creases or damages to the suit. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of the Spider-Man suits have this rubber kind of vinyl overlay onto the suit. So if you're posing it and you have it posed for too long, the material will stick to itself.
Okay.
And you will have to gently peel it off and allow it to heal. The thing is this, a lot of people are rough with their figures. They don't know how to pose them or curate them in a way where the temperature is nice and right. Or they just don't bother touching them at all. They forget to touch them to repose them into a neutral stance so the figure can heal. it's just like a fresh pair of sneakers. You know, you want to break them in a little bit, right?
Right.
But when breaking them in, you do create creases.
Right.
Same thing with the figures. They have specific creases because this is how it's going to move. This is how it's going to pose depending on how you crease it when you pose it, and you can't avoid it because it's just something that happens natural. But the insides of your fingers, when you curl them up, you was born that way. Your hands curled up. When you extend your fingers, you see the crease lines in there, and they're different, like a fingerprint. So it's going to be different for other people's figures because not all of them are sewn in the same exact spot. Just by millimeters, centimeters, it will be different. So the creases will be different. So the suits are either a vinyl with the sculpt that's there. It's molded in with a gel. The gel is like I want to say a silicone.
Okay.
That's molded in with the suit that's put on a blank body. And depending on the body is another thing. So like I said, they have like 4 or 5 different types of bodies. So some of them already have the chest and the abdomen, the biceps, the triceps, and all that other stuff, while others it's built into the suit versus built into the figure.
Okay.
So you have magnetic heads, you have ball jointed heads, you have ratchet joints in some spots and ratchet joints in other spots, depending on which figure you're talking about. So some don't have ratchet joints in, let's say, the knee. Right, which is a common place that you would normally see ratchet joints, but some of them don't have it at all. And you can pick your poison with Spider-Man. There's so many different variations, and I'm almost complete. Okay. I'm missing 2 from the first Spider-Man 4 PS video game. I'm missing the black costume Spider-Man from Spider-Man 3. That's a new pre-order. Venom from the PS5 video game, and Superior Spider-Man from the PS5 video game. After that, I'm done.
And until they release another one.
Yeah,
basically.
Real quick, going back to Popeye, man. I'm not sure if we can meet it, but your thoughts about if they made a Popeye, but they made a Robin Williams version.
Oh, I would definitely buy that. Robin Williams all the way, man. That was my Popeye. Popeye.
Okay, no, I'm just wondering because I know.
Shout out to Robin Williams, rest in peace.
That movie was great, I think.
That was perfect.
And it's a movie that I could still watch. So for them, let's say, to make a figure, I was just wondering if you would pick that up because...
I would definitely pick that up. Oh,
because I know you're a big Popeye fan. So,
I would definitely pick it up. I seen a 1/6 scale version of Popeye that has a little bit of animation and a little bit of Robin Williams in it. Mm-hmm. But I didn't pick it up because I was hoping somebody would, take the reins and make a Robin Williams third-party Popeye. And I know someone has, but it was a custom piece. Okay. And it looks amazing. But now, with the way technology is, I would love, like, Hot Toys, InArts, or someone else to get the license because Popeye right now is in public domain, I believe. Mm-hmm. And you can still, do certain things with Popeye. I know there's another toy company that's doing the comic book Popeyes. So you get everybody from Sea Hag, Bluto, what was it? Pappy,
Wimpy.
Yeah, definitely Wimpy and
I'll gladly pay Tuesday for a hamburger today.
The
Goons. Oh, you talking about the Goons? Yeah, they got Goons and they got olive oil and stuff like that. Like their line is completely done, right? But Mezco hasn't touched anything further than Bluto. And they only did Bluto once. And I would love for them to do a World War II Bluto to match the World War II Popeye that I have. So, that's something I wish that I'll have. But definitely, if they did a Robin Williams, I would definitely buy that.
Or just how about the other characters within the movie?
Within the movie?
Listen, like a Paul Smith Bluto.
If they did a Paul Smith Bluto, how are you going to have that without a Robin Williams Popeye?
No, of course. That's what I'm saying. Other than Robin Williams Popeye, would do like a Paul Smith Bluto.
If they did a Paul Smith, man,
or that's Paul Dooley Wimpy.
Oh, I'll gladly play Tuesday for a hamburger today. So, like, if they made the cast of that film, I would definitely get it because that film is a big piece of my childhood. My dad legitimately waited for it to get on TV, and this is showing my age. I was back in the days of VCRs, so he used to video record it on a VCR, and having a VCR back in the day, you were rich.
It was a luxury.
It was a luxury to have a VCR. You know, you had fast forward, rewind, and pause back then, and y'all kids do not understand the pain of rewinding the tape, watching it over and over until the tape dies out.
You need to buy a rewinder just so you could bring it out, rewind it fast.
Oh, not if it gets caught in the freaking...
Not if it
how
get
many
caught in
times
the,
that
in the
happened?
reels.
Oh,
Oh, my
yeah,
God.
when
boy.
it gets caught and it bends the reels, it's over. It's
So,
over.
talking about the different versions, you know, as far as, you know, you say the comic book version, the TV, the cartoon, the movie. If there was one, let's say, median, you know, the way it's released, is there not, you know, Star Wars, not Marvel, no, whatnot, any of the brands, but is there one line that you will always collect? Will it always be a movie version? Will it always be a comic book version, etc.?
Most of the stuff that I collect has to be ingrained into my childhood. It has nothing to do whether it's a movie or a cartoon, because I'll end up buying both anyway. It has to be specific. Like, for instance, Thundercats. There's only one way to go with Thundercats because they didn't go anywhere else.
Right.
You're right. He-Man. There's 2 ways you could go with. No, technically 3 ways you could go with He-Man, and that is either the vintage toy because it was a toy before the animated series,
right?
Or you can go with the
Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah, you have the Dolph Lundgren.
Masters of the Universe.
Universe.
That's what I'm saying.
Universe.
Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, which was a bad movie.
Bad?
Yes, it was a bad movie,
I love that movie.
but it's one of those. It's so bad it's good.
We're gonna hurt some feelings now.
No. It's so bad it's good
No,
movie.
that's true. I agree with that. It's a bad movie that's just good.
Yeah.
You can't explain. It's like watching a train wreck.
Yes,
And you can't look away.
You can't look away. No,
We all have the movies or TV shows that no matter when it's on, how long it's been since we've seen it, we will
we'll
sit
watch
down
it
and
again.
watch it again.
Look,
Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck. Don't mention, I love Howard the Duck, bro. That's another bad movie that I could watch over and over again.
Dude.
Christmas Story every Christmas.
Every Christmas,
Gremlins.
at least 5 times.
Gremlins was
Throw
great.
it on
man.
TBS and just leave it.
Yeah.
And then you fall asleep and wake up at the exact part you fall asleep and you don't just happen.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got a friend that loves that movie. She loves that movie. Belky.
Oh, Spaceballs.
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 Anything Mel Brooks, be honest.
Yo,
Mel
yes.
Brooks.
Anything Mel
Anything.
Brooks.
Anything
Sorry.
Mel Brooks.
But Mel Brooks, you can't go wrong with
No,
Mel Brooks.
nah, you can't mess with Brooks, bro. But
Love
I'll tell you. Speaking
Young
about
Frankenstein,
Spaceballs, one of the guys that I know, he was able to clutch a custom batch, which I think there was only like a few made, so I can't even obtain it if I wanted it right now because it's gone.
Oh.
But if it was available for me to get it, I will pay the price right now to get it, and that is Barf and Lone Star. And they look
my
amazing, bro. They look amazing. These are customs. The reason why they're not made in mass production, because the only way Spaceballs was going to be made is under contract
That's right.
that they could not make
Merchandise. That's right.
And the funny thing is, in the movie, merchandising. We got Spaceballs, the breakfast cereal. Spaceballs, the lunchbox.
Spaceballs, the flamethrower.
The kids.
The kids love this.
Jesus Christ.
So those who do not know, whoever's listening, I don't know if you are our age or not, and you don't know, I'm ashamed of you. But okay, it was the knockoff of Star Wars, and George Lucas gave the okay only because they weren't going to do merchandising, and a lot of the characters were so, they were satire, compared to Star Wars. But that's the way that they made the agreement, and it was only an in-movie joke.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, the cast was amazing, man. The cast was amazing.
Rick Moranis?
Rick
Moranis.
You have Mel Brooks. You have Bill Pullman. You have John Candy. You have freaking Joan Rivers. Excuse me.
Yes.
Dom DeLuise.
Oh yes,
Dude.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
We got
you
the
have-
Jeeps, the Creeps.
Michael Winslow. Michael
Winslow, the radar guy.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
He's doing the radar sounds.
Yeah.
right there.
And
I love it, dude.
They jammed our screens. It's strawberry.
it's strawberry.
Oh,
Only
yeah.
one person in the universe uses strawberry. Lone Star.
God damn, that movie was good. I'm so sorry, man.
The Force? No, the Schwartz.
May the Schwartz be.
See, your Schwartz is as big as mine.
Oh man.
Oh man, dude, I don't. Mel Brooks. You can't go wrong with Mel Brooks, man. Every movie. I love what you put up the other day. If Blazing Saddles made today, and it was just the beginning, and then they rolled the credits.
Right. That movie would last 5 minutes if it was released today.
Oh, dude.
But it's so good. It was so good, man.
See, there's a lot of things now that are considered
Taboo.
Taboo. Exactly the right word, taboo. That we did back then, or we witnessed back then, that they were able to do on stage, video, TV. Like, I remember as a kid, you saw people getting shot, stabbed, all that other stuff, and
Just outside my window.
outside the window. But forget the window, forget the window. On TV, like Channel 11 News,
man.
you watch. What was it? Freaking Dirty Harry.
Death
people
Wish.
dying.
I
Death
ask you
Wish.
One question: Do you feel lucky, punk?
Well, do you?
Shit. Like all the Charles Bronson movies, all the
Death Wish movies.
Death
yeah.
Wish movies, man. Look at freaking Chuck Norris. No one could beat Chuck Norris, man.
Bruce Lee's the only one that can beat Chuck Norris.
Yes, and people still debate it, but
They still, yeah.
No, there's no debate, man.
well, I know that for a fact that
There's
Bruce
no-
Lee's the man.
There's no debate.
But
I think what's we talk about back in the day, were we a little tougher back in the day? Yes.
oh, we were a lot tougher, not a little,
I'll
a
tell you,
lot.
I'll say
I'm trying to play it a little even.
No,
okay?
no, there's no
Times
even.
change.
There's no even.
Times change,
But we
man.
also weren't. I don't think it's much more than we were tougher back then. It's just that we didn't care. Like we had thicker skin, and we weren't afraid to, in a way, make fun of ourselves a bit.
Yeah,
times
we
change. It's comedy, man. It's subjective. It's always been subjective. It'll always be subjective.
Yeah, but you know what? This new age of you can't say this because it offends this group of people, or you can't say this because that is offensive, or you can't say that because it's all this, that, and the third.
Let's move on from that.
Yeah, but no, but it's true, because the thing is this: I can't say that because it hurts a group of people's feelings. But my thing is this: is that what happened to the thick skin?
Times change, man.
Exactly, times change. So are we living in a softer generation? Yes, yes, we are. But then again,
Compared to what? That's the thing.
Compared to-
we were softer compared to our
I
parents.
had to walk uphill 3
Look, dude,
miles both
compared
ways.
to our parents, we were softer.
well, I'm sorry, I'm built like a tank compared to my parents.
You're just old.
Oh no, I'm built like a
happens.
tank compared to my parents.
I'm telling you, it happens.
Well, I'm just saying, my mom's a EMS. She's seen all the stuff. My pops, he was always running around in the streets, so he's been shot and stabbed and all that other stuff. And I witnessed a couple of things myself. I've been interacting with a couple of things myself, so I didn't fall far from the tree, man. I was like right there in the roots.
I was born and raised in the Bronx. That's all I got to say.
Shout out to the Bronx forever.
Bronx
That's
River?
That's all I got. Not Bronx River, just Bronx, bro.
Bronx
It-
River?
all over. And it's
No,
the Bronx.
no, Bronx River, because that's where all the foreign enemies are right now.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the every time I hit the toilet, man, the foreign enemies just flush away, man.
That's Orchard Beach.
There
We're referencing things that people are not going to get unless you're
It's okay, unless you're from the New York City area.
Yeah.
But I'm looking up some things here while we're talking, and noticed that Undiscovered Con is coming up on June, the end of June,
Okay,
and
great.
they're gonna have the cast of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. Now, we went to Rhode Island, and you finally got to meet your childhood
Yes.
heroes. Basically,
Yes.
you got to say it that way. And for the animated the '80s version of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
You know
and
what?
now we're gonna see if we could go and get our movie.
Yes. See, I gotta go to Miss Hogue. I gotta go see Miss Hogue, the first April that I've ever seen.
April.
Yes, the April O'Neil, and I'm gonna tell her how much of a crush I had on her.
You can
Still
do
have
that.
the crush on her now, and I'm sorry I'm married, but can I keep you?
She's on a hall pass.
Hall pass.
Hall pass.
Hall pass, right?
You gotta go. Hey, babe,
Celebrity
hall
crush.
pass. And she was very nice. What she looks like.
Yeah, exactly,
She looked good.
exactly. And the thing is, I want to thank her personally for
Giving you
allowing her.
boners.
No,
For
I want-
making me a man.
no, for
Fully
actually
erections.
allowing her likeness to be sculpted into a figure.
Yes. Oh,
Because you know, that's a big thing too. Because with the whole writer's strike and all that other stuff, and Actors Guild, with everybody trying to go against AI, saying you cannot use my likeness without my consent. I need my royalties. I needed my paycheck. You can't not have me there if I was there.
right.
Or if I'm not there, why are you using my stuff?
You can't use it without compensating.
Exactly. You need to pay me to have my face. It's mine.
I agree with that.
And that also goes for figures. That's why, third-party figures is frowned upon to some extent because it's pirated. But still, I wanted to thank her for allowing her likeness to come out. I have a figure of her that has not been opened, so I want to get an autograph from her and from my main man, Kino.
Of course.
Wow.
So, and I think he just had fought cancer, and he just won and prevailed. So he's out and about doing his thing.
A true hero.
Yeah,
true
Ernie
warrior.
Reyes Jr. Baby, that's the guy. And
To all survivors out there and those that are still fighting it, you are top notch.
my grandmother Milagros, love you, thank you.
Got
Keep
family
fighting.
members as well, man.
Yeah, man. And when you look at it, these are people I grew up watching, man. This is my thing, and
I picked it up.
yeah,
I picked up 3, one for each of us to get it
Yes,
signed.
my man.
And it's a poster size, so it's a 27 by 40. So
Oh.
right there, my for you.
Dude, you don't understand what you're doing right now. You bringing back more childhood memories. I had that poster.
Oh.
I had that poster, and then the Mirage poster.
Okay.
That's the Leo holding the sword up in the air, but it's the city and not the video game style. It's similar, but it was the movie poster too.
The poster,
So,
the
yeah,
poster I had
it was
reversible.
reversible.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
reversible. Nice.
I had a reversible one.
The poster I had was of Leo, and my brother had Donatello. He loved Donatello. And it's from the movie when they just got beat and they're in the house.
Oh, they went to the farm.
Yeah, so it's just him just sitting there looking down, and I had it up in my room, man, as a kid for the longest time. And then imagine the walls I had in that room was the paint was like that prickly paint, so it was hard to
Project
hang.
Paint. Project Paint. I know.
The landlord special.
Yeah,
One landlord. It's New York State, baby.
Paint over the light switches and the outlets.
So-
Your neighbor's cat. Everything got painted.
So yeah,
so it's hard to hang, but I loved that poster because it was a moment in that movie. It was the moment, a moment in the movie.
for me,
I
it's
believe
not hard to hang. I just hang regularly.
Raph was unconscious. Raph was unconscious at that point, and they were at the farm, and they were worried
Yeah.
about him. And Leo was mulling over his decision and the argument he had with Raph right before that moment happened.
Yeah.
and it's a great moment to have just there.
Yeah. So I'm trying to see if I could get this one more figure of her, which is her and Casey Jones from the farmhouse.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to get that signed and see if I could get Casey to sign the next time we see him if he ever pops up.
That's the only dude that.
That's
has
the
pop
only
up.
one that's not there.
Yeah.
But I do have the second shredder, and I have the first shredder still unboxed. So
First shredder?
I got
I need a shredder.
Yes, I have plenty of figures to go around. I
They got
still,
both Aprils too.
dude, I have the Secret of the Ooze box set, so I can get everybody there.
Yeah,
Sign their
that
name.
box. Yep. You should do
Because
that.
Ernie Reyes Jr. Also
Yeah.
the stunt man for Donnie.
That's right.
And you know what I know is that Brian Tochi was
Brian Tochi was Leo.
No, Leo. But he was
Yeah.
also in Revenge of the Nerds.
That's right.
Yes.
So I didn't know that actually until I saw the picture. And I was like, oh, when he's riding the little bike and they gave him the pin. That's another that movie that you would say is bad because of all the stereotypes.
Well,
and
stereotypes and the treatment of people that are stereotypes. You know,
because it was like they were nerds, but you had
nerds versus jocks.
But see,
and you had the gay black guy.
but
Yeah.
see, here's the
It's
thing.
like a double threat.
The stereotype thing that didn't bother me as a kid because I'm like, okay,
We didn't see it that way though.
We didn't see it that way because I think it was the era we grew up in. Like, you're gonna see lots of different people being themselves, and being a New Yorker specifically, it was like your next door neighbor could be exactly the stereotype that you're watching on TV, and then you're just judging them based on what you saw on
what you
TV.
see
Yeah, exactly. And then when you get to know them, it's like, oh shit, you're like my Uncle Tony.
Yeah. Well, you know, and what I think is that, you know, listen, you know, our families kind of raised us a certain way, wherever you're from. Doesn't matter if you're from New York or not.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, you are who you are, and you know, just let people live the way they want to live. You know,
It's fun. Dude, with the Turtles, I want to mention something that's pretty cool. In the last issue that IDW released for the Ninja Turtles, which is
yeah.
issue 150,
yeah.
it's great because you could actually like you could make a diorama of it now.
Yeah.
Donatello, basically Marty McFly himself.
He Back to the Future himself.
He
Oh,
Back to
he
the
did.
Future. So they're chasing a time traveling shark. His armor.
Spoilers.
Oh, spoilers.
Yeah, well,
Spoilers.
I mean, by the time this comes out, I'm sure, unless someone, unless you don't read it, but you don't care. But whatever. Spoilers. So they're chasing a time traveling shark.
Mm-hmm.
So they go back to feudal Japan.
Armagon.
Armagon. Here you go. And but still a time traveling shark.
I mean, what's wrong with that?
But they go back to feudal Japan.
So
and
when,
he has to
when,
make
when
sure.
he when he time travels, does he have to be in the water, or does he like carrying around his own kiddie pool?
I think he follows the same rules as
Does
King
he-
Shark.
Yeah, he has cups and he splashes them into his gills.
I'm just really thirsty.
I know. I need to breathe.
They go back to feudal Japan, and he makes sure that they're reincarnated because the turtles are reincarnated from 4 human brothers from feudal Japan.
From Japan, right?
And then they go back to the night where the accident was created to make them the turtles, the nitrogen and all that stuff. And he accidentally stops the Foot Clan from attacking April, effectively.
He calls a domino effect, Back to the Future style.
So you know
okay.
how Marty stopped his father
From getting hit with the car.
being hit by the car.
Different line.
Yeah,
different-
they're different. But he stopped. How he stopped his
Yeah,
dad, effectively, really stopping himself from being born. He was being erased from time, so he had to get them back together. This is what Donatello did. He by stopping the Foot Clan from attacking April at that night, he stopped the events.
He stopped their own creation.
Yeah, so he had to make sure that he created the events that led them to be the turtles. So he effectively Marty McFly himself.
Yes.
Which is great.
Now, this is how much of a geek that I am. Okay, I'm thinking about Back to the Future references, but what I'm thinking about more is paradoxes.
Yes.
He's his own grandpa.
He's his own grandpa.
You know, so
Now-
scientific concept in physics and all kinds of temporal
Yeah.
dilation. You know, when you go back and change something, you may have changed
Space-time
and then you
continuum.
want all that.
Yeah. Dude.
But it's great. It's funny when
That-
I read that I was like, wow, he literally did a Back to the Future. He had to make sure
Another one of these damn kids jumped in front of my car.
So he had to,
Now, and speaking about jumping in front of the car, since he had to recreate the entire event, every event that happens, that means the things that happen before they go into this spiritual stream that allowed them to be reincarnated. Because the turtles that we're talking about is IDW.
yeah.
Yes.
That's not the Mirage Turtles.
No.
It's not the cartoon Turtles. It's not the movie Turtles.
Right.
This is strictly the Mirage. I mean, the IDW.
IDW.
So in IDW, the turtles originally were spirits from the past of feudal Japan that were reincarnated into these animals that got touched by ooze, and the ooze kind of gave them
Where did they get
purpose.
touched? Pointed at the doll.
On the tail.
Where,
on the tail.
where did the bad ooze touch you?
Where the ooze comes out from now. But here, in that regard, it's more of making sure the flow of events happens the same or at the same time, so that way they can do basically a flashpoint event.
Yes.
You know, so it falls into that category because they don't have split timelines.
Okay.
So everything is linear, and when they go back, it doesn't sever; it almost deletes. that.
Okay. So in terms, if you're a MCO fan, we're not talking about branch timelines. We're talking about a completely different timeline that erases the other one, or causes the other one not to exist at all.
Almost like a what they call it, incursion.
Yes.
Almost like an incursion.
So basically, now the lore is that Donatello created Ninja Turtles. Well, him and Venus.
Him and
Okay.
Venus basically inadvertently created the events to make themselves into what they are
Into
now.
what they
And I
are.
told you Donnie was the key to everything.
And turns out to be it, which bugs. That means he created that old Hob, the cat, which they almost
yeah.
scared away,
Yeah.
and in some theories, Daredevil.
Yeah. Oh no, that was
Yes.
based on the original Mirage comics.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You know,
I just had to throw it in there.
Yeah, because it's a parody of all the things that Marvel would do, and that's what Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird were doing. They love Jack Kirby and the way he was doing things. And speaking
Jack
of
the
which,
King Kirby.
I got a Kirby figure based on the Mirage comics recently, and he's dope because it's Kirby in the Mirage comics that's supposed to be their idol, which is Jack Kirby, and they had to go through the royalty situation that we were talking about earlier in order
Right.
to get his likeness. Basically, it's from the comics, done in illustration, but because it's the
Actual person.
they had to get the rights
the
over.
family rights.
So they were able to.
Estates rights.
Yeah, so I got the estate. So I got the figure based on the estates rights. So I was like, yes, I was able to get that figure through Holothon. So this one comes with a nice little pencil with the stone in it, just like in the comic. He has the little creature he draws and the gravity gun that he creates for Donnie.
Nice.
So it's dope, and I love this line. NECA is killing it with the figures. Right now, Loyal Subjects is doing the BTX line, which is basically Better Action, I think it's called. 6-inch figures of the IDW turtles. So I already have the 4 turtles from the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive run. I need to get a Shredder, and so far they showed Alopex and another person, I think it was Rat King, that's from the IDW. But they're coming out slowly. I'm trying to see if I can get my hands on those, because I like the IDW figures. They're pretty cool. They're not as posable as I would want them, but they're surprisingly fun. They're detailed. They look phenomenal on the shelf with the rest of my collection, because I have majority of the iterations of Turtles. Not every iteration, but majority of the iterations.
So we talked about Turtles. We talked about Star Wars. We talked about your Spider-Man collection. What is the one thing that if you can only keep one line, and I'm almost certain I know the answer, what would it be?
Ooh.
You gotta get rid of everything else.
Right.
If I had to
You gotta burn them in a fire.
Right. The house is on fire. Your family.
Also, my fire figure.
Your family's safe. Okay, so let's take that out of the equation. Your family's safe. Everyone you care about is safe. What's the thing that you grab to run out of the house?
Shit. Damn.
You have to think about it, huh?
Yeah, because I had a lot. Yes, because I have a lot. I have a lot of figures, and there's so many figures that fit into that box. There's so many figures that fit into that box. One is my DeLorean Back to the Future time machine. Okay,
Respect for that one.
That's
because
my
probably the
first
one-
Hot Toys vehicle.
It's the only one you can probably carry as big as it is.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's also one of the things I would grab on the way out of my house is my
Yeah.
Back to the Future, my one Back to the Future Grail piece.
Yes.
See, I'm lucky. I got all my stuff is in the bin, so I just grab the bin.
Right. He's
I don't have to choose.
He's already ready to move.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah. See, if it had to be any of my stuff in regards,
you got Dora's backpack where everything, and it can fit a lot of things.
If
But
it-
what is the one
the one thing that has to
bag of
come with me,
the one series or genre that you would have to grab to come out of the house?
see, DeLorean has to be there with it, but as far as the genre to take with me, they're always going to make turtle stuff, so I can't say I miss out on turtle stuff. But it would have to be my Batman collection.
Amen.
My Batman
You got,
collection.
that's what you hit, keeping the heart there.
Yeah, no, it would have to be my Batman collection, and here's why. Because my Batman collection, it's finite, and I have majority of the villains. Because the Rogues Gallery for Batman, to me, are more threatening than
Yes.
the ones for Spider-Man. Granted, we're talking about Spider-Man fantastical, like characters in these, comic books. But
and I've always said a Rogues Gallery makes the genre.
exactly. So
You're only as good as your rogues.
yeah, exactly. And here's the thing: both Batman and Spider-Man both have that. But my Batman collection is the 12 scale stuff, right? I don't have a 6 scale Batman yet because I have the 89 Batman waiting for me when it's available. I got it from my boy Hogwarts Tours,
You want to get crazy? You want to get nuts?
and I
get
got the
nuts.
Batmobile coming in too. So 2 vehicles. I don't know where I'm gonna put it. My wife is gonna kill me, but I already told her and warned her about it. I just gotta make sure I get rid of these boxes. But it would have to be my Batman collection because it took time to get each one, and I had to get each one sparingly between collecting. And I actually liked them because majority of the villains that I got are suited characters. I love villains in suits because they have a mob.
Two-Face, Joker,
Two-Face,
Ra's
Joker,
al
Black
Ghul.
Mask. Not so much Ra's al Ghul, but more of Joker, Two-Face, and Black Mask. That's the ones that I have in suits. And the tailoring on them is so nice and so crisp, but Batman could whip their ass. You know what I mean?
Course.
But
Prep time.
prep time, yes, prep time.
Number
prep
one
time.
superpower.
That's
Prep
right.
time.
Prep time and
Prep
money.
time and money.
But the reason why is something about a ninja-esque character that's a detective rocking a cape and shooting a grapple gun with precision.
I started firing.
You got a bad boy, but
Yeah.
there's no way he beats my Spider-Man collection though.
Okay.
I
I respect that.
because-
And I'm a Batman fan. I'm a DC guy. I've got my gotta save it from the fire is my DeLorean, which is cast sign, and also my cast sign Batman the Animated Series poster. A lot of work. I had to send it out to a couple of different companies to get signatures, and prayed and called and emailed the company every day nearly to make sure, hey, you still got my poster? Is my poster safe? So on. But speaking of Batman, like you said, he's a guy. He's a detective. He's a ninja. He's everything you said. And he's
still just a man.
He's still just a man.
Still just a man.
Prep time and all. You got to give props to someone, even though it's a theoretical character. But there is some true history lore to it. For the first commissioner for New York City, Teddy Roosevelt used to walk around at night in the trench coat, checking on his cops, checking on crime. And there's an article that came out when the Nolan series came out, talked about Teddy in Tights, where they talked about him being a homage to Teddy Roosevelt. And that's why I love Batman, because he put in the work to be who he is.
Yeah. See, now thinking my collection right now, I'm gonna have to say, because I love it so much, if I had one toy to take, one toy, just one, not a vehicle, but just a toy to take with me and have a good
Action
old time.
figure.
Yeah, it's still toys.
I don't know, Funko Pops in the back, on the bottom. It says this
I
is
would-
not a toy.
Listen, I would have to say it is the Heat Boys TMNT Leonardo, because it's the only one I have right now. Basically, it's a Gundam style Leonardo with Leonardo as the pilot. And when you get all four
Like a mech
figures,
warrior.
it's a mech warrior, and it's made
Oh,
of die cast.
Oh, solid.
Yeah, Joey came over to the house. I let him mess with it for a bit. He's like, "Damn, this thing is heavy."
I almost broke it.
On
What's-
purpose.
What's this piece? Oh God, it fell off.
Yeah, and all it was it's called a hard piece, a hard point. So it has sections in it that you could plug in certain spots to make it work. So the swords are die cast, the figure is die cast. The pilot goes into the shell. It's a dope figure. It even has LED features in the eyes that's done magnetically. So it comes with a slice of pizza
Okay.
that looks digitized, and you swing it over the head or tap it on the head. The eyes light up. You tap it again for the second time. The eyes pulsate, kind of like Ultraman when he's running out of power.
Yeah.
And then you tap it for the third time to turn it off.
Oh, that's great.
So all the turtles are coming with it, and each one has like a specific style and stuff. But particularly now, since I have them now, it's Leo. But if I had to pick anyone from those, if they were out and in my collection, it would be Mikey, because Mikey was supposed to be here a month ago, and he's not here yet. He's running late. Mikey will be the one I take because he comes with Gatling guns, missile launchers, his nunchucks, a pair of headphones, and he has dreads in the back of his head, man. Rasta all day, baby.
Rasta Mikey.
Guan, bread, drink.
Juan Guan.
Yeah, man, but
So Joey, the same question to you.
Fire
The-
figure.
The fire figure, the fire item. You know, because we all collect all different things, comics, figures, whatever. The fire item.
No. I can't, man. I can't. I got so much. It's
all-
signed, man.
It's all already in the bin.
It's already in the bin. It's all in the bin. It's all in the bin.
Okay,
I could grab a lot of things.
not-
you know,
not signatures.
They're Funko Pops.
not
Yeah.
no. Okay, one comic,
No,
one graded comic.
It can be comic. I got my. It's also in the bin. It's in a box, and obviously I have it separated from everything else. It's my Spider-Man comics.
Yeah,
I'm not going about that. That's especially the sub 100 issues.
Yeah.
I need to take that with me. But I mean, growing up, I grew up horrophile. I loved horror.
Yeah.
So, like getting Robert Englund's signature
Freddy Krueger.
was a big deal for me. Even though he hugged Keith and loved Keith because we got a picture and you could like crop me out completely and it just looks like Keith took a picture with him. But
He's like a clear, like 5 to 6 inches
Away
away
from me.
of dead space between us
and
for
he
some
has,
reason.
he has his hands on top of Keith and I'm like, but I'm a big fan. I'm Freddy Krueger gave me a lot of freaking nightmares, but I love the movies. I can still watch the movies, and I have.
Yeah.
I've sat there and watched.
Now we can, as a kid.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So
but,
all right.
but he was also in V, and I loved V.
Yes. Such a great series.
Yeah, that was his great series, man.
So
loved it.
all right.
But I could grab that. I mean, it's small enough. I could grab that. I could get my Jason, get my The Exorcist. I have I have my horror collection. It's hard because I also love Married with Children.
Yes.
That was I was a kid and my dad allowed me to watch.
Bye
Yeah.
bye Voltron. You're getting burned.
I don't know. Well, the thing is, Voltron, like the figures I have, the only thing I would say for Voltron would probably be the Lego.
Okay.
The Lego
Lego
Voltron,
set.
yeah. Mhm.
Because everything else I could rebuy. Because it's re-releases that I've got. I don't have the original anymore. That was thrown away when I was a kid by my parents, which I remind them so that they regret it every day.
That's right.
Oh.
Because I had like Castle Grayskull. I had the
I had Castle Grayskull as a
Yeah.
kid.
I had
Yeah.
the Garbage Pail Kids collection. The whole collection.
Generations of collectors around the world have had the same story of I came home one day and all
And
my
it was
stuff was
gone.
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 It's so painful.
And then you see it now, and you can't rebuy it because Great Skull, the original, it's going for hundreds of dollars.
Right.
My Garbage Pail Kids. I was talking to the guy. He wanted no less than like
$2,000 for
the cards. Yeah,
cards.
for the collector cards, man.
And the stickers are even more.
I had the Voltron when they were die cast.
Oh man.
And they don't make them die cast.
They got new die cast. I think it was Blitzway.
Not like that though.
But I don't think. Well, yeah, because most of the actual body was freaking die cast.
Yeah. So it's a lot of things. Like, because the Voltron, I could buy again. Like I said, most of the figures of the Funko Pops that I have, and it's from the Netflix. Because it's hard to find the original. The original figures. I do have the re-release that GameStop did, and I'm dying to get. I can't find it at any Target. They did the 30th anniversary or the 40th anniversary of Voltron as well. I want to get that set.
Yeah, it's a repop re-release, but original scale and design.
Yeah, and I want to get that. It's still in the package and everything. I want to get that. I'll grab my Weird Al figure.
Yes.
And I will grab my Pee Wee Herman.
Yes, absolutely. Hey.
Come on, man. I grew up weird because of him.
Yeah.
And not in a bad way.
Right.
I'm talking about weird, like a sense of humor and stuff.
Not the movie
you sure
theater
about
weird.
Not movie theater weird.
Are you sure about that?
Which is his own thing. No. Not weird at all.
And it's like those, we all
Paul
talk
Rubens was the man.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I mean, there's movies, TV shows, comic books, cartoons that we all connect through, and that our shared geekdom that keeps us, that builds friendships. That's an instant in for a lot of people. Oh, you like this? I like this. Oh yeah, that's cool. And going to conventions, getting autographs, getting figures, getting exclusive releases. The Hunt, man. I love The Hunt.
Oh yeah, the hunt is great.
The what?
The Hunt.
Oh,
Hunt.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
HUNT.
I got it now. I had to make sure.
So yeah, The Hunt is great. The thing that I hate was the chase figures, and here's why: because they were limited like one a box or one a case. And the thing is, it's always a flipper or someone who was unboxing it that would have taken it and you couldn't get your hands on it whatsoever. But if you were lucky enough and you was grabbing it and you found another and another and another, you was sitting on that bad boy until it hit a certain peak. Like, okay, it's time to sell.
That's right.
The Hunt used to be fun when chases were like 1 in 128,
right,
or 1 in 256.
Right.
Now it's like 1 in 6.
1 in 6. Yeah, you're guaranteed one in every box. You know?
So if you buy a case, you have one.
Yeah.
You're guaranteed one.
Yeah.
So it's not that fun anymore.
The
The hunt for me is the signatures, going to these conventions undiscovered, or going to Terrificon, or going finding going to smaller cons to find these actors that don't really make the rounds like they used to.
Yeah. Or even like the throwback like background characters. You go to these smaller conventions, you'll get there was one convention I went to. It wasn't even a theme convention for Back to the Future or anything like that. I went to a Long Island Long Island Who-Con for Doctor Who.
Oh God.
And I went there, and the Save the Watchtower lady from Back to the Future, the lady that shakes the can,
Save the clock tower. Save the clock
was
tower.
at a Doctor Who convention. That's awesome. Those are those little gems that you just gotta go and talk to them.
Yeah, that's what you get. And the smaller cons are really good. I mean, these bigger cons, they're great, but the handlers shove you across. Like, it was hard to speak to Stan Lee back in 2016 when we went to. I couldn't speak to him. This is his handler, and by the way, that situation is really effed up. His handler was pushing everybody through.
Yeah.
And Stan was like a robot. Just, they were shoved in front of it, and he'll sign, next one sign. But when he had his time off, you see him talking to people, getting up.
Yeah.
That's how he was animated. But you go to these small cons, and you could stand in line, get to the person, like you did with Rob Paulson.
Oh yeah, with Rob Paulson
and his son, which, by the way,
yeah,
I can't believe his son knows about video games. Well, of course, his YouTube channel and everything. But with Rob Paulson, they stand there and they allow you to speak and have conversations with them, and you get personal with them.
Yeah.
And it's great because you get time with the people that you want to meet, and it's a good experience. That's what I like going to conventions.
What
to get
most people
signatures.
don't realize is that your childhood idols, video games, TV, movies, they're just as excited and happy to be there as you are. They love interacting with the public. You talk for 20, 30 minutes to some of them sometimes, and it just makes you love it even more.
Pretty much. So, like, my first experience with a smaller con was with you guys at Rhode Island Con last year, which, thanks to Joey and you, I was able to get the, signatures from all the animated characters, with the exception of Uncle Phil, who played Shredder,
And one other special person, right?
Which other special person?
That you got to meet. He was in the rotunda there.
Which one?
Easton.
No.
Yes.
We don't talk about Turtle Jesus. We don't talk about Turtle Jesus right now.
No, but I'm saying you got to meet him.
All
No,
hail
listen.
the Turtle Lord.
Let me. I'm gonna get there. So
Let them build.
I was graciously given the metal poster of what was the NES Turtles in Time.
Yeah, the second one.
Second one. Yeah.
The second game.
Second game, which had like the images, but on a steel poster.
Yeah, Ashton Paulson knew about it right away. He was like, "Hey, that looks familiar," and he looked it up and he was like, "Yeah, I knew it was from the video game." I was like, "Wow, man,
exactly.
you're really good." But just
Real good. But you know what was the best part? I was able to talk to each individual person and just tell them, "Thank you for what you do. Your voice acting helped me through my childhood of entertainment, seeing right from wrong, because that's what was on the script, but you played it out so well, and it helped me develop my character as a person. So now I could get to be animated and, fun-loving, outgoing, and all that other stuff, and still do what I do thanks to you, through my childhood, because all I had was the TV.
yeah, we all did.
And when I got to see all these individuals, I'm like, listen, Mikey's my favorite, right? But all you guys are there in my heart. Y'all guys.
They're the voice in your head.
They're the voice in my head every time I read an Archie comic of the Turtles. They're there every time I read an IDW comic. I hear their voices. The funny part is that the same voice actor that was Raphael for the original is the voice actor for the 2012 Donatello.
Oh, okay.
So when they had the crossover event, it was funny. You sound strange. No, you sound strange. It's the same voice actor.
Playing off of each other.
They did that on purpose.
Yeah.
But Easter egg.
Yeah. So, seeing all of them was great. And then when me and Joey finally saw Kevin Eastman,
Turtle God.
dude,
Turtle Jesus.
Turtle Jesus.
dude, like the praise that we gave him, he praised us for enjoying his content, buying his content. That we're the fans, we're the ones who made Turtles the way they are now. And I'm like, yeah, but you're the one who was the master behind the sketches, the actual dialogue, the stories. And I know it's not just you alone, it's Peter as well, so thank you for what you did. And he's a people person, and I swear if I had more time to talk to him, I'd be like, yo, you down for a slice and a drink?
Yeah.
And he'll show
absolutely. And I've almost had moments like that because, conventions are hard work. It's just as hard on them as talent as it is for us as attendees. Because, like Joey said, with Stan Lee, love the guy. They really were just like putting him to work. Yeah, so when they're there, like they only have the time at the table. Maybe they have 5 to 10 minutes to themselves. They have to rush to get something to eat, and then they got to go do the interview. But what gives them life is the fans.
That's right. Because we keep them afloat, so to speak. We keep them alive. We keep it going, because without us consuming it and enjoying it, it wouldn't have any breath of life. We're, like he said, we're the heart of the the whole mania. We're the whole consensus of it. But dude, we need to do an episode on old school Hanna-Barbera cartoons.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we could do a whole episode unless you want to bring it into this episode and have one more cigar and crunch the time. It depends on what time you're kicking us out.
Well, I don't have to go far, but you do. But
Well, he does.
I do.
that's right.
He does.
But not all interactions with our childhood heroes are good.
A lot of them were very sketchy.
No, but I mean, we've got yelled at
A few
Please,
times.
please explain. Please explain.
So hey, I'm not sure if a lot of people know who this person was, especially you do if you grew up in the 80s, 90s.
Like a bat out of hell.
So Meatloaf, man, rest in peace, Meatloaf. But he yelled at us. Look. In my defense, it was a simple question. I was really wondering, and I never seen an old man get up so fast in my life. Man.
We felt so bad.
Yeah, we did. I think we killed him.
No, we didn't kill him.
He died shortly after that.
For legal reasons, we did not kill him. He was alive and well when we left. So we were. That was Salt Lake City, if I remember.
Yes.
Okay. So I've been on a kick of getting autographs for a bunch of years now, and usually I travel alone. But this time we went to. We stopped at the Funko headquarters in Seattle for a day or two, and then we went to Salt Lake City.
Which, by the way, we discovered maple bacon donuts today.
Oh my God!
Maple bacon donuts was awesome.
No, but you don't understand where we had them. Anyway, keep going.
That was so great. So we go to the convention, and what we like about what we consider smaller conventions, not being New York Comic Con or San Diego, where there's a lot of corporate sponsorship, but smaller conventions that may not be as known. The talent that goes there, talking about cast, and reunions that go, it's usually a lot more people in places like Rhode Island or Salt Lake City or some of the smaller ones. So they had a few people from Rocky Horror Picture Show, and Meatloaf was in the movie, and we're there. We go and get a couple of autographs. He's sitting at the table, and he's having a competition against, of all people, Jason David Frank.
Oh God!
Yeah.
which was like halfway across the convention center, about 10 tables away. Every time Jason David Frank would stand up and get the crowd to cheer and clap and R.I.P. Another great one. Every time people would laugh and clap and cheer for him when he'll stand up and say something, Meatloaf will come out from behind this table. This man was, I think, in his 70s at the time.
Dang.
Would come out from behind his table and say, "We could do better than that." And he was having a shouting match against Jason David Frank's crowd versus his crowd.
Yeah, JDF had the bigger crowd. By
Of
the way.
course, JDF had the bigger crowd. Why wouldn't he?
But it was so great. So we walk up to him, and a part of his musical career revival was a song, "I'll Do Anything for Love, but I Won't Do That."
Look, I was just curious, okay? So I decided, I'm going to ask him as a joke.
Uh huh.
So I said,
and keep in mind, we all know the song, and the song says what he won't do. But us being, particularly prickly individuals, sometimes in our sense of humor, we decide to ask him a question.
So I went ahead and I said, hey, in your song, I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. The thing you won't do, was it anal?
Anal? A little backdoor action for the bat out of hell?
The man went from a smile
to scolding us like a high school principal.
He stood up. No, it doesn't mean that. I didn't mean that. Don't say that.
It's a beautiful song.
We were like, whoa, it's a joke. But
and mind you, this is a rock star that rocked hard in the 70s and 80s. He's been through it A to the Z and back again. And he just laid into us.
He got up, he just banged it on the table. Dude, we were like, oh, we're sorry, sir. We turned into kids. We looked at him, we're like,
we
we're
both
sorry,
turned. We both turned like 9 years old again, and felt so ashamed of ourselves.
for me asking. I mean, it was a joke. And
You guys are sick.
but that wasn't the first time, man. We have some stories with
A few other celebrities, maybe we'll cut in a couple of episodes of some stories sometimes. But listen, even before we asked the notorious question, he was having a hell of a time at the convention.
yeah.
Okay.
And Barry Bostwick was next to him.
Barry Bostwick selling his underwear.
Yes.
Oh God.
Now, for those who don't know, again, we all relatively around the same age, even though the movie was a lot earlier than us. In the movie, Rocky Horror Picture Show, there's a scene where they're in this mansion, and his character, along with Susan Sarandon, were in their underwear. So that's why he was selling signed copies of Tidy Whities at his table.
Which is funny. That and homemade clocks.
Homemade clocks.
Homemade clocks. Yes.
Yes.
Apparently that his hobby / alternate career were making clocks. So clocks and Tidy Whities at his table that you may still get today if you see him at a convention.
Yeah, because he'll have it there. But it was an experience.
And that's why we love it. That's what makes it worth it for all of us to go to conventions and collect, various things
and interact with those people. It's just great. Well, you gonna eat? He was like, But yeah, dude, it's that's why we go.
Yeah.
That's why we do what we do and collect what we collect, and it's for that. That's why I get the signatures. Every chance I get, if I see someone coming up in a convention, just like Undiscovered Con, they're gonna have the stuntmen that were inside the turtle suits.
Yep.
We gotta go. It's
Definitely.
the 29th and 30th. We have to go.
Yeah.
It's something that we need to do. I mean, look at.
I'm gonna get my box set signed, both of them.
Look at the.
I just gotta
the
figure out how
lineup
much
here.
money I need to get all that signed.
Oh yeah, I gotta look up the site and see exactly what come out. But this is look at Comic-Con's lineup so far, dude. They have.
This is New York Con or this is the other con?
This is New York Comic-Con. You're looking at Josh Brolin, Matt Smith. They got Marissa Tomei.
Oh, Marissa Tomei. Okay.
Gotta get Marissa Tomei. Yeah, Katie Siegel's gonna be there. And then I could finally finish my collection of signed Kevin Smiths. I pretty much have every figure of his signed except 3. And he's gonna be at New York Comic Con, so I'm excited about that. I need to meet him and Jason Mewes.
Okay.
Dude, you got Freddie
good.
Prinze Jr. and
Freddie
Rachel A.
Prinze Jr.
Cook.
Oh man.
The She's All That reunion. And then they have the best thing ever. They have Denise Richards and Casper Van Dien.
Oh wow.
Super Troop. Oh, not Super Troopers. Oh man, I messed up. Super Troopers is the wrong
That's
thing.
the wrong one.
What? Yeah, it's the wrong one.
Thank you.
Yeah, pour some for me too, my thanks. But like Zach, edit this so that way I get it correct.
Yeah, he doesn't want to
Please?
say the wrong thing again.
No, I don't want to say the wrong thing again.
I don't mind.
It's Starship Troopers. So you got Rico from Starship Troopers and his girlfriend. which is-
Rico's Roughnecks.
Rico's Roughnecks. I have his pop, but I think that he's the only one that they made, I believe,
From Starship Troopers?
for that Funko Pop line. So I might have him sign and probably have Denise Richards sign either the top or on the side because she was in it and I need to.
You know what was my biggest regret? I want to say 2 years ago, not last year, but the year before.
Meeting us.
Yeah.
That
getting to
was
know us.
long ago. That was long ago.
Long.
That was a long time ago. But I want to say about 2 years ago, New York Comic Con. That's when they were giving out some more of the NECA exclusive turtle stuff. And what was exclusive this year was a copy of the script for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for 1 and 2, and the writers were there.
Oh,
and they signed it, and it was like $500 a pop. I wish I was there with the money to get it. I was there to get some figures, but I ended up leaving empty-handed because I didn't have the funds to get that. But that's something I want to have, in my collection, because that's like majority of my collection is that. Like my dream of seeing Stan Lee is gone. The last year he was there, I'm like, damn, I'm not waiting on the line for 5 hours. Are you crazy? That's a whole convention.
I was there from 2 a.m. just to get on his line.
And that's the crazy part.
Just to get on his line. Man, I should have her sign one of these right here.
Oh yes, yes please, yes please.
yes.
Listen, I'll
But she'll probably have those things on our table. Or how about this one? Just be like, hey, can you sign this?
Can you sign this? Like, you perv.
It's not a perv. I mean, she was in this movie.
I kissed the girl and I liked it.
He kisses guys.
Guys.
Nah, that's you.
So talking about near misses. What
Late reaction.
You talked about the near miss with the writers and Stan Lee also. Current actor or someone unfortunately that passed away that you wish was at a convention.
Ooh, Carl Weathers. Carl Weathers. Obviously Stan Lee. And Harold Ramis.
Yes,
I wish
Harold Ramis. Oh my God! If they ever did it, we know from Ghostbusters, but I also know from Stripes
Taxi.
and Taxi.
Stripes, man.
That's great.
Yeah, he's a straight up comedian, man. A straight up comedian.
Gosh, Stripes was so good. Him and Murray.
Oh man. Paul Walker.
Rest in peace, Paul Walker.
Paul Walker is another one that I'll get an autograph from, because Fast and Furious, hasn't been the same since he's gone.
That's right.
I thought they were gonna.
Dom Toretto has never been the same.
Nah, he's missing in action, bro.
Yeah. So, what started me on my crazy journey of autographs? New York Comic Con. I can't remember what year, but most years, Adam West was there.
Oh man.
And it was always the end of the convention. It was Saturday or the Sunday afternoon, whether I left early Saturday or came back for the next day Sunday. Time was short, money was short, and I would see him across a crowd and say, he's always here. I can get him next time, whatever it is. And there came a time that there was no next time. Mm-hmm. So I went on a mad dash for really the last 10 years, getting every single autograph that I could get, no matter how far I had to travel. I haven't done international yet. That's, the return on investment is something to think about. But if it was $100, $200, $300 to go to a convention, get a ticket, stay there, get a bus ticket, go there for one day, and get all these autographs and come back, I was gangbusters because of him.
Mm-hmm. So with talk of hard, certain celebrities and actors, artists, and stuff like that, passing that you get an autograph from, who now is at that frail age that you would want to grab their autograph now?
Well, before that, my person, and I'm upset that I didn't get it, was Carrie Fisher. She was there at New York Comic Con, and I was like, God. I don't have the money, I'll do it next year. And there was no next year.
Yeah.
She died that December. Yeah. And I was so upset because I wanted to get her, and I was contemplating on getting her, and I wanted to get on the line. And at the last moment, I said, "I'll get her next year," and there's no next year.
See,
currently,
yeah.
and I'm trying to put a bid in on Pristine Auctions, and I keep getting outbid, but I don't want to pay $100 for it, and I might just pay $100 for it. It's Mel Brooks.
Yes,
he's in
Mel
his
Brooks,
90s.
yes.
anything signed by Mel
need to
Brooks,
get it.
I would love to have.
Yeah, I need to
Because
get something.
once he goes,
That's it.
those prices are going to go up, and
Right.
you know
See-
it's always like that.
See, Mel Brooks is one of those people. The other person is the RoboCop.
Peter Weller.
Peter Weller, yes, and Arnold. I
Arnold.
need to get a autograph from Arnold, whether it's Terminator, Conan the Barbarian,
Yes,
or Matrix, John Matrix,
yes.
which was Commando,
Commando. That's right.
or even Predator.
Predator.
Like if I could get one of his figures from
you're
Hot
one
Toys.
ugly son of a.
Yeah, exactly. So, like,
Actually, no. He said you're an ugly motherfucker.
Yeah. Yo, one ugly motherfucker.
Hey,
And he slowed it down. It was
Yeah.
like, oh shit.
I want to take Danny DeVito as well, by the way.
Danny DeVito. Yes, absolutely.
I
would
have
say-
a third party figure that I wouldn't mind getting signed, even though it's not legit and it's not licensed. But
Right.
the fact that he's willing to sign it,
Yeah.
you know,
I would go right away with Danny DeVito.
a penguin figure, bro.
Big one. But anything, man, from Always Sunny. Guess,
Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Anyway, I started
Taxi.
blasting. Just that,
Yeah.
all taxi him behind the.
A lot of great actors that we know and love that either come and gone or still around and they're pushing, frail ages. They came from that show, Taxi, man.
Yeah. Well,
Christopher
Christopher
Lloyd.
Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd, man.
Yeah. So,
Even Tony Danza.
Tony, that yeah. So
Tony Danza, yeah.
it's amazing that like they've done so many things, but they're like worldly famous because of one thing. A lot of people like to step away from it. We talked about Adam West. Unfortunately, he got typecast because of the Batman '66 series. But there's other people. He embraced it because he is Batman. He's Batman. Michael Keaton. I'm Batman. But listen, that's what it is. And there's people like Christopher Lloyd, which here's a throwback for most people that don't remember. Besides Taxi, he was the judge in Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Who Framed Roger
Who
Rabbit?
Framed-
Yes,
right.
Judge.
So he was the one that was dipping tunes in the
That acid.
The acid. I forgot what they called it, the goop or whatever it was.
Dip.
The dip. That's right.
Dip.
But
Poor Shoe. Rest in peace, Shoe.
Rest in
Oh,
peace,
yes.
Shoe.
He's like this. He does this. He does.
2 bits.
Yes.
Shave and a haircut. 2 bits.
Shave and
You know, my
haircut.
daughter does that now. Yeah.
That she-
And all I got to do the knock, and she comes and goes, 2 bits. She learned it in school, apparently, that song. And I'm all that jingle.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you learned it in school.
Yeah, man. Like, when I killed your brother, I talked just like this.
Oh man, it's so great.
Yo, that used to give me nightmares, bro. The red eyes.
Yeah.
That used to give me nightmares.
Dude, I went to see that movie with my father at the theater in the Grand Concourse. It doesn't exist anymore, but we had to sit through a double feature to watch it.
Wow.
So I saw 3 movies that day with my father. And we went, and you talk about terrifying. One of the movies from double feature was The Blob.
Oh,
So
I love that movie.
So I had-
Oh my god, so
I had
good.
to sit through The Blob as a kid. I'm glad that slime didn't exist back then, because I think I would catch a
slime
flea.
was everywhere. It's just that.
I would. Well, you got Nickelodeon
Gap, bro.
for but this is '88.
Yeah, you still could get the glitter, like pink goo mixed in with purple.
And then
Gak.
I had to watch the knockoff ET. Anybody know what the
Wait.
knockoff ET is?
Wait, a knockoff ET?
Yeah.
Critters?
No.
Okay. Wait.
No.
Wait. Let me guess. Wait.
Knockoff ET.
It's a knockoff ET. Is it?
They whistled.
No, not the alien baby. That the big cheek one with the big eyes.
Yes, with the big cheeks and the eyes.
Oh,
Why am I not remembering this?
I remember, and the family was huge, and he's so small.
Yeah, they straight it.
Yeah. He's like
Macking me.
Macking me. There we go. Macking me.
Mac, which has a hilarious scene of someone getting thrown off a cliff. But Mac and me. So yes, that's
Dude.
I had to sit through those two movies, and then we finally got to see Roger Rabbit.
Oh man. You know what? That brings me up to another episode that we should talk about besides Hanna-Barbera that should be in the same episode, which is B-roll movies with aliens in it, like the Last Navigator.
Last Navigator, man. Jesus.
Dude, I'm talking about you have a little critter alien inside this big spaceship. Like, she's like, oh, here, yeah, do this. Ding, 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 ding. It's like all montage of a kid flying a spaceship. But
Wow.
I think one of my favorites is because it reminds me of one of my favorite animes done in live action that I saw as a kid with Mark Hamill in it, but he wasn't the main character, Guyver.
Guyver, yes.
I knew you were
It
going
wasn't.
with
No, but it was Star Kid.
that. Oh, I remember Star Kid. Okay, I remember Star Kid. Yes.
Star Kid was basically Guyver without the blades.
Yeah, I remember that. The suit, yes.
Yeah, so there's that,
Come
man.
on, man. You're talking about kids sci-fi movies, dude.
No, I'm talking about. We need to talk about
The
that.
Explorers.
The
Do you remember the
Explorers.
Explorers?
Okay, original Lost in Space.
Yep. Okay, original. Yes.
Galaxy Quest.
Galaxy Quest. Oh my God,
Galaxy Quest, my shit, bro.
That woke you up.
No, you're okay.
I'm sorry. I've never seen Sigourney Weaver so hot in my life.
True.
Very
That's
true. Even in Aliens.
Even aliens.
No, in Aliens she wasn't my type in Aliens. I don't know if it was because of her haircut or whatnot, but when she was a blonde in freaking Galaxy Quest, yo, bro, I was like, dang.
I didn't see it that sexy even in Ghostbusters.
No, I didn't see her sexy in Ghostbusters.
Not so much.
Not so much, but
It's
Galaxy
the-
Quest was a different kind of thing.
Yeah, it looked like she perked up.
Yeah, definitely were pushed up, but even so, I mean,
There's a lot of wonder in that bra.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, she for some reason she looked really good.
She
in
looked
Galaxy
more.
Quest.
She looked more edible in my head.
Man, that, you know what? And that is such a great movie. For us, it's a great movie. There's some people out there that don't like that movie, and shame on yourself. Shame on yourself. Go stand in the corner.
Listen, every sci-fi movie doesn't have to be Star Wars or Star Trek. Okay, it doesn't have to have a star in it. Galaxy Quest was one of the best parodies.
You are last hope.
And Alec Rickman, come on.
Oh my! By Graptar's hammer, by the sons of Warvan, you shall be avenged.
You shall be avenged. And oh, God rest his soul, man. He's gone to Snipes. He's the actor who had the alien head, where he's not an alien. He's just a guy in a suit.
Oh, Guy. Yeah.
No, not Guy.
Not
the
Guy.
other one. The other one. All right. You know Professor Snipes from Harry Potter?
Yeah, that's Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
Alec Rickman.
Alec Rickman.
Yeah.
Yeah. His character.
Yeah.
He had this fake prosthetic.
Right.
Yes, we're talking about Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he wasn't called Guy. Guy was the other guy.
Right. I can't think of his name right now. The
Yeah.
character name now.
Yeah, so basically, he's like, I will avenge you. And I remember he had his little arc in the film, and he was like, he goes, he fights some aliens. He comes back with parts of his hair coming out of the prosthetic.
Yes.
Hitchhiker's Guide.
Hitchhiker's Guide to
To
the
the
Galaxy.
Galaxy.
Yeah.
Alan Rickman as a robot.
Yeah, he's a robot.
He was the robot.
Oh, dude.
The depressed robot. That movie was great. The Hitchhiker's Guide, man. I enjoyed that, especially the meaning behind 42.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go into programming and what 42 stands for is an asterisk, and the asterisk in programming means anything that you want it to be. So the robot was saying that life is anything you want it to be, and no one got it. Mm-hmm. That's when they were confused. 42, we don't get it. And then you go into that whole. I mean, it's a theory, but it's a really sound one.
Yes.
it makes the most sense.
It definitely does. It definitely does. You know, and there's some movies that are like that. And you just have to find it in it. Like, for instance, going back to Popeye, I Am What I Am. Majority of the song is I am what I am. I am what I am. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. It's a musical, but he's spending most of the time talking about who he is and identifying who he is. So when you have movies like that, you know, just finding identity. You know, Star Wars. You know, Luke. I want to be a Jedi like my father before me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like just finding self, finding identity. Like, we had our first battle, Master Splinter. They were many, but we kicked.
Right.
We fought well.
We fought well.
So it's all those things, man. But those B-roll movies, man. There's something about them, man. It's like they have their charm. Like, we're gonna have to have a watch-along commentary.
Yes.
That
Mystery Science Theater style.
Oh yes,
my
we
God,
could do that.
That would
Definitely.
be dope. That would be dope, dude. Just
That's Mr. Science is another great show. And it's just old movies, and you got to just sit there and hear the commentary while
You get to rag on them.
yeah, it's.
dude.
But it was I don't know, man. I have the DVD set for Mystery Science Theater 2000. I just enjoyed that. That was something I could watch and watch terrible 50s movies and enjoy what they talk about.
Well, I know what we could do this summer.
Movie marathon.
Want to see a dead body?
No.
What?
What we could do this summer is go through the action-packed movies and have like a video-thon.
Of pure 80s action?
Pure 80s action, baby.
Oh, my God. All the Rambos, all the Terminators.
Lethal Weapon. No, Perfect Weapon. It was Perfect Weapon. Martial arts movie. He'll take his ring, he'll switch it. It was Tiger and Dragon.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember those movies.
Blood In, Blood Out.
Blood In, Blood Out.
La
Yeah.
Onda.
American Ninja.
Yes.
Oh my God.
1 through 4.
I forgot they made so
1 through
many.
5 or something like that.
They made so many. American Ninja 1 through 26.
There's The Ninja, or Shadow of the Ninja, or something, Revenge of the Ninja, and it's like 3 movies. Oh man! But you know what? Real movie I want to watch and just sit back, have a drink, smoke a cigar too, is the old samurai movies like Lone Wolf and Cub and Five Deadly Venoms and Chambers of Death. Yeah, bro. Like all those old vintage stuff, man.
Well,
I love
like
those.
the where they speak but the lips don't match.
Of course.
Come on. That's part of what makes it great because they're so bad that they're fantastic.
It's not even that bad because if you watch dub stuff now, it still doesn't equate. They just try to say things faster so that way they could match when the lips stop moving.
Let's not go through old movies, man.
Not all of them, just some of them, and just be like, okay, do we want to watch this and suffer through this? No, we have to have one that we have to suffer through.
What's Fubar?
Fubar.
Holy shit! I actually stumped you guys.
Fubar.
Well, I can tell you what Fubar stands for, but
Yes, it was the name movie.
What?
It was the name movie, guys.
You know what? We should do a movie comparison. Reboot versus the OG, like the new Running Man that they're gonna do.
Okay, you ready? It stars Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell.
what?
Wait, what? Not Tango and Cash.
Tango and Cash.
Oh,
You got it.
I thought you meant the name of the movie was Fubar.
No.
I was like, wait. I'm like, it sounds familiar. And he's like,
Tango and Cash.
he's like
with
those
Terry Hatcher as the stripper sister.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes. Of course I remember that.
James Hung. I forget James Hung was
Trouble
in
in Little China.
it. James Hung, yeah.
Uh-huh. Great. James Hung, we went to horror. Monster Mania. James Hung, he's got to be in his 90s by now. I'm not even sure, but he was old when we were young, and he's double old now.
95, yes.
He's 95.
Oh, God bless him.
Now, you talk about someone that takes time with you, and it's great. it may upset a lot of people because,
They're trying to move the line.
15, 20 people online. But this man, no matter what you bring to the table, or if it's something that's on his table, like a photograph, or you bring him something, before he signs it, he'll act out the scene.
He'll act it out.
He'll do the voice. He'll do, everything.
Yo,
Fantastic guy.
Yeah, a lot of people bought him Kung Fu Panda stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
He'd get up and he'll do the noodles, and then he bows. He takes a bow away, so you're like forced to clap.
See, I would love to get if they.
There you go. Yeah, every time he does it.
I would love to get Kung Fu Panda memorabilia and just have him sign it, just so I can have his name on a piece of medium.
Oh yeah,
but. They haven't done anything relative as far as figures is concerned in regards to Kung Fu Panda, and I think it's because it lost its charm, and that's why this film that's come out is the last one.
Yeah,
because they did a Netflix TV series where it's involving a bear from England, so I'm like, okay, so it's him becoming a knight or a dragon slayer or whatever.
Dragon Master.
Yeah, he's the Dragon Master, but he was like the knight.
He took my hand and wrote his name in Chinese, I believe.
Yeah,
he took my hand. That we went there. He was let me a hand. He signed it. And I was like, hey, look at that. He signed the back of my hand.
That's what's up.
Have you ever gotten an on the fly autograph? Like you didn't sign for it, you didn't pay for it, you didn't wait online for it.
Yes. So this happened when I was in high school, and me and my friends were messing around like always before school, getting pizza, fries and hot sauce and ketchup and whatever. And we was on 14th Street, Union Square. We went down, we took the train, and on 42nd Street, matter of fact, no, not 42nd Street. I want to say it was Canal Street we got on the train. Then from Canal Street going up, we bumped into Mark Henry. And saw him, got his autograph. He needed directions to get to another train because he has a somewhat of a hotel or something that he was staying at that was in Queens. So he needed to find a 7 train. So we actually got off the train, walked with him to the train, and bid him adieu and just had a whole conversation. This dude was like the most kindest individual. He wasn't annoyed with us or anything like that. Plus, we were helping him out, giving him directions. That was like the best time ever of me interacting with a celebrity. Not only that was a WWE celebrity that kind of broke kayfabe because he's not becoming him. He's Mark Henry himself.
Right.
But he's also known as the strongest man in the world at that time. So that was my only interaction with somebody that I got an autograph from. But working as a security guard, I met plenty of people from Danny Glover to the judge from Ghostbusters 2.
Yes.
The woman from Harry Potter, that she is the one who changes from a cat into the teacher in the classroom in Harry Potter.
Miss McGog. I forget the name.
Yes.
Something like that. Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah. Her,
McGonagall, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So I met her. I met Zod from Man of Steel.
Nice.
And I had a great conversation with oh my God, his name is leaving. He was in Charlie's Angels, Iron Man 2, and Ninja Turtles. The name is escaping me.
Come about on. Justin Hammer?
Yes, Justin Hammer.
Yes, I know you do.
Freaking
and what's funny, it's like he's one of my favorite characters. And if there was ever a movie about me, would want him to play me.
Yeah.
Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell, thank you. Yeah, I knew it was Sammy. So he introduced himself as Sammy.
Yeah.
So I legitimately had like an hour conversation with him in the lobby at my job when I was working as a doorman. And also, not an autograph, but a great gift. In the building that I worked at the time, Daniel Craig and Rachel Weisz lived in the building.
Nice.
And talked to them every day when I saw them. Very humble, peaceful people. They love their quiet. They love everything, and like that, like they love their privacy. You know what I mean? But when it came to me and their son, and me talking to them and whatnot, it was awesome. I didn't need to get an autograph. Like they gave my daughter a gift, and it was a nice summer dress.
Mm-hmm.
That dress was like $500 plus.
Oh, wow, outstanding.
Yeah, so like that to me, that was more than an autograph. So we have that in the family. So we passing it down to anyone who has a girl. It's your responsibility to not get it messed up. You wear it for photos and stuff, and you pass it down to the next gen.
Put it back in the plastic.
Put it back in the box.
Put it back in the
I would
closet.
have framed it. I was like, you're not wearing this.
That's right.
Just hang it up.
You know who gave you that?
It was a beautiful
James
gift.
Bond.
James Bond.
It was a beautiful gift. And Rachel is freaking
The girl from the
stunning.
Mummy.
Yep.
Yo, she is stunning.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I hear her speak, I melt.
Wonderful, wonderful person.
I melt. Like, and the thing is this, my wife knows, and she knew. It's like, I enjoy talking to you. You just make me melt inside. It's just like, listen to ASMR, just falling asleep almost,
Right.
but not in a bad way, in a good way.
Yeah, I wonder how many times he yelled out, "Oh, Rachel!" in bed.
Oh God.
I don't.
In his mind.
In his mind.
Nope. You're not speaking no sins upon me, sir.
I've paid for a lot of autographs, and I wouldn't say that any of them are my friends, as in people, celebrities that I've met several times. But here in the Bronx, shout out the Bronx, okay. There's a section of the Bronx called Poe Park. Where one of Edgar Allan Poe's homes were, where he lived and stayed for a bit. And there was one year, had to have been about 7 or 8 years ago, that they were renaming one of the side streets for Bill Finger, the co-creator of Batman.
Oh.
And they had, the usual fanfare and everything, and Mr. Kevin Conroy was there in the crowd. I've seen him at conventions several times. Always a gentleman. Mm-hmm. And from New York, had family that still lived in New York. Mm-hmm. And it was one of those moments, like you said, that you would sit and talk to you for an hour. He was just a guy from New York at an event, and he was so gracious. I didn't get an autograph that day, but conversation, picture, but the conversation was worth more than anything that I've ever paid for as an autograph.
Yeah, sometimes just that run-in with a celebrity that you like, oh, that's you, yeah, awesome. You just can't, lose it. Like when my wife saw Daniel Craig and Rachel Weisz, and I'm like, that's James Bond, right? She's like, no. I'm like, yeah, look, this one. And then she's from The Mummy.
Yes, she's from The Mummy.
And she Constantine and a couple other movies. And she's like, okay. She's looking at her like, oh my God. So she was dumbfounded when they came in. And the thing is this, she wasn't my wife at the time. She was my girlfriend. So every time they passed by, she's like, oh my God, I love your girlfriend so much. She is so awesome. They're like, you're going to marry her, aren't you? I'm like, I don't know yet.
Oh.
Yes. Stop lying. Yes.
Fast forward, it worked out.
Kinda.
Still working. It's still working.
Still working.
A 6-year-old child later, still working.
I had a whole conversation with Cyndi Lauper about Pokemon Go.
Hey.
So imagine that. I said, well, my wife just stared at her and with her mouth open, trying to tell me who she is, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever. She was like, oh, this is amazing. It was back in 2016. We were by Central Park, so imagine there were like crowds of people. This when it was big.
Yeah.
So she showed up and just asked me a question. So I was just telling her what it is. And she walked away. My wife was like, "Hey, did you know that was Cyndi Lauper?" And I was like, "Okay, but she's a person too. I mean, I'm not gonna get excited. I mean, you get excited, yes, but I'm not gonna.
You're not gonna overdo it.
Overdo it. I mean, I saw Ryan Reynolds walking down the street with his wife,
Blake.
Blake Lively. And we just nodded at him. He nodded back. He acknowledged us. He nodded back and everything, smiled. So we're like, cool, that's all we needed.
Yeah, they deserve their privacy too. They're regular people.
Yeah, they were they're dressed to the nines, so it looks like they were going out. We're not gonna be like, hey, can I take a picture with you? You know, and she was lesser known back then, but yeah,
how do you guys feel? You know, I haven't done this. I've always paid for autographs. I've always done them at conventions for the most part, or you know, on auctions or different ways of buying them. How do you feel about the autograph hunters, like the guys that are out? You know, it's a living. I'm not knocking anyone for making a living, but you know, they'll have 15, 20 things, and they're standing outside their hotel or outside the restaurant, or they're doing a TV appearance, and they have, you know, 30, 40 people, each one with 30, 40 things for someone to sign.
There's a way I think there's a way to do it. And the more annoying part is when you go to a convention, and then you got to wait behind the guy with a
truck
with
full
a wagon full of just, can you sign this and this and this and this, and you're like,
was Rhode Island Con.
Yeah, but there was, but in other cons we see with James Hong, some guy had a whole wagon, and I'm stuck behind him, to the point where James Hong was actually went and said, "Talk to my publicist. We'll set a time where I could sign this for you. I have a line. I need to get these people their signatures as well." And he actually pulled the guy to the side so that way we could all go through and get our, so which is the right way to do it. I mean. I'm not gonna knock them all. You get what you need to get, and
right.
You know, you do the hustle. You do your hustle, but there's a way, and I think a time and way to do it. It's not.
Yeah, I've always
people got lives, bro.
Yeah, I've always felt, you know, at conventions.
No one owes you.
You know, you see the people that are out on the convention floor. They're vendors. They have their little shop, their booth set up, and then they run down to get a bunch of autographs, and then run back upstairs to sell it. You know, and it's part of the industry. But like you said with James Hahn, you know, talk to the publicist, talk to the manager, set up a time. Don't ruin the experience for everyone else. You know, with your truck full of stuff, and just, you know, you're taking up space and time for people that genuinely, you know. And I've been on lines with people that like broke down in tears because they're so happy to meet a celebrity, or their favorite celebrity, or whatever it is, you know. And then you got this, you know, this, whatever, I'm not going to say an evil word about someone, person, you know, this creature in front of you that's just, you know, slobbering over the idea of how much I'm going to resell this for.
Yeah, see, ain't no knock on the hustle, but still got to respect the line. And I'll tell you one thing. That at that convention in Rhode Island, we had one guy who literally had totes. No, not a box of shit. Totes
big
on a big dolly.
Yes.
On a hand truck, I should say. A hand truck is one of the ones that laid down, and then he had a actual, like, oh my god, this guy had like, I want to say like 5 bins. Was it?
It was something.
Was it, Joey?
Yeah,
it was like 5 bins. And it was all NECA Ninja Turtle stuff. The Turtles in Disguise stuff. The Bebop and Rocksteady stuff. Anything that correlates to the voice actors, he got every single one of them signed. And you look into this man's eyes, this guy looked like he had no soul. His eyes were sunken in, dark. He looked like a bad guy from a movie.
The guy with the bins.
The guy with the bins. Like, he doesn't sleep a wink. And he was nice enough to be like, okay, I think I'll take a break from now and then let the rest of the line go. And here's the thing. You have the express line, and then you had the regular line.
Yes.
That regular line was so long, bro. It wrapped around, especially when it got into the voice actor for Raphael. Like, he did Pinky and the Brain.
Yeah,
he did Swal Paulson. He did so many voices. He literally has a body of work. When you see the banners, like, all his characters is there. So, that dude, man, amazing guy.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, the guy with the bin, at least he respected it, which is cool. He respected the line. He knew, and he even spoke to him and said, "Hey, can we set some time for you aside so you could sign these things. And he was respectful about it. So he had the bins, but he wasn't.
He wasn't
a douche.
pushy.
Yeah, he wasn't a douche like, oh, everybody's gonna wait. You're gonna sign everything in this bin. This bin is all yours. There's 40 figures in here. Sign them all. And screw everybody else. And I get it, and again, it's a hustle, and I get it, but there's a time and place. It's not for these things. They just, I don't know.
The one fantastic thing that I witnessed and experienced was, these celebrities are actually they're fans themselves.
Yep.
One year and it may have been I think it was the same year as the notorious Meatloaf story, but at the same year it was, and actually it was because Chuck Norris was there, and Lou Ferrigno was way at the other end of the convention center, and Lou Ferrigno, as a fan, walked up to Chuck Norris and had to walk over to his table and talk with him, so on, and he himself got a Chuck Norris autograph because he was a fan.
See, a lot of people who are not familiar with the world of acting or any kind of medium that pertains to someone that created something popular. Excuse me. They forget that they're people too, and they are fans of other people's work. It's no different than people in the MCU when you have other big time actors or people getting their first breaks, coming in, giving respect, and then also shooting the shit with them or giving them shit when they go on to a talk show. We're like, hey, man, this guy Tom Holland, I can't stand that kid. He's too cocky, man. It's all about bringing the ego down. Why? Because he's Spider-Man. Spider-Man sells more than Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Careful.
Careful. It's the truth. If you look at as far as like the profits and stuff like that,
with a little mouse head on his bed.
Listen, Spider-Man, he sells more.
You don't mess with the mouse. You don't mess with the mouse.
The whip. But it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. So we're gonna pass the mic over to Joey. I think Joey wants to say something.
No, good.
You sure? You sure? You sure?
I've been saying things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I use words and stuff. So, gentlemen and ladies and everyone else that may be listening to this, like and follow and share, and have a good. Hope you enjoyed the time with us today. We've smoked all the cigars that we talked about. Today, our nub nuance,
nubs, yeah,
double roast.
We smoked two.
We smoked a few of them. We've had some fantastic drinks, some fantastic stories, and this is what's going to continue in our future episodes.
Hopefully.
Yes. Hopefully. If I don't fall asleep, get dead, or get my ass kicked, one or the other.
We'll continue without you. It's okay, man.
Yeah, you see that? You see how that works?
You're expendable.
We'll just take all your Ninja Turtle stuff in remembrance.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. You gotta find them
put
first.
them on eBay.
eBay.
You gotta find them first in all their parts.
All right.
Nah,
man.
but thank you for listening. Thank you for giving us your time, and hope to hear from you guys again, or you hear from us.
And maybe next time we'll have some kind of catchphrase to end it.
Oh, you want a catchphrase?
Insert catchphrase here.
Catchphrase will be here.
Catchphrase.
I have to admit, it's a pretty good catchphrase.
Listen. You ain't smoking if it's not cigars and ash.